It's time for Friday Night Live. This week, y'all, this week has been a busy one. I am so excited to talk to you tonight. 90% of what we're covering is all Britney. There was a court hearing yesterday. We have so much we have to go over. I have a quick bit that is new tonight. I was just going to cover Britney because last week when I tried to do, our weekly roundup plus our story, we ended up streaming for like 5 hours. I mean, we also had drinks and friends. It ended up being quite a night. So tonight is going to be mostly Britney, but there is some Girardi news that we just have to talk about because it's kind of the news I've been waiting for. I've got to be honest with you. So we're going to cover one quick story and then all Britney. And then I'm intending to leave a lot of time for questions, but at the end of the week, my brain is kind of tired. But I'm going to contribute to that with a little of my no filter wine from my friend Zach Peter, which is going to be great because it goes very well with the tea. And we've got the legal tea tonight. If you are in the replay crew, love you. Thank you for being here. The timestamps will be down below. We should just roll the intro and then get in to all of the things and have a little chitty chat. I got behind today because my kids, this happens sometimes. My kids were in a mood. They were in a silly, goofy, chatty, friendly mood. And I was like, well, we're just going to lean into this. When your teens are chatty, you just have to lean in. It doesn't really matter what's going on. You just lean in. And then they went out to go rock climbing with Dr. B. And now we are here together to do Friday Night Live. If it is your first time catching a Friday Night Live, pop a 1 in the chat or in the comments down below. If you're in the replay crew, let us get going right now. Hey there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker, the badass lawyer and everyone's favorite legal commentator. I'm the host of The Emily Show, and I break down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I should warn you, I'm a big fan of the cursey words. This channel is where the law nerds unite to talk about facts, not fuckery. So, welcome to Friday Night Live. Text crew, it's good to see you coming in. New friends, it's good to see you coming in. Go ahead and hit the subscribe if you want. We're on the road to 666 because it's going to make me laugh. Because every now and then I'll get a comment like, oh, that mouth of yours. And I'm like, what? Yes. 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 I curse. So I feel like the little devil on my shoulder is like ready for us to hit 666,000 subscribers. I'm just ready. So yesterday, if you guys were here or were not here, we did a bonus ride because there was so much happening in the Depp v. Heard case. I have not really jumped into the NBC nonsense, but I did jump into an article that I then saw my friend Hogue cover this morning on his Hangouts and Headlines show. And it's sometimes really nice to watch a legal mind that you respect have the exact same reaction that you have. You're like, oh, good. We're all in good company. We're on the same page. And that's always nice to see. So I broke down an NBC article about the Depp v. Heard case yesterday. I broke down the judge's latest rulings yesterday. We're breaking down a bunch of rulings today. You're going to have to be patient with me. We've so many. There's like 6 or 7 minute orders that we're going to be going through. The amount of stuff we're going to slog through in the Britney Spears case tonight is a lot. And it's a reminder that even though these cases are done, I feel like the media, not everyone, but largely moves on. It's like, oh, the case is over. Cases aren't over. They're not. Even when they're done, they're not over. And this is a perfect example. I mean, Depp v. Heard's a good example too. But this is a perfect example of just because you think it's over doesn't mean it's done. They are still fighting over money. And there is some James Spears fuckery popping off in some of these little motions. Somebody just asked, will this Friday Night Live last 5 hours? No. I can tell you why. I have a headache. It happens rarely. I was on the phone. This is so embarrassing, and I'm going to tell you anyway because I know that you guys can relate. Because You're my people. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. We were chatting and I was like brushing my hair, getting ready to get my hair up so I could finish my prep for the live stream. And I like, my hair has now gotten down, like down my back. So I was trying to like move, just like swoosh my hair out of the way and did something to my neck. And I was like, ow. And she's like, what happened? I was like, I moved weird and now my neck hurts. That's where we're at. My neck has, though, I did have a neck injury as a kid and my neck has been a little precarious since then. So Nintendo Gamer Gal has noticed that my Switch is missing. It's still in my travel bag. It hasn't come out of my travel bag yet, but I do have some new little Elle Woods that have popped around. I can't do this well, but there's some new little pop figures in my background from a lovely Leonard Eleanor who sent me those. They are on my Instagram stories if you want to go over and see those. But I was just like, I did. I swooped. Somebody's like, you swooped and hurt your neck. I did. I swooped my hair and I hurt my neck because I wasn't paying attention and I was just chatting. My dear friend is running for judge and we talk almost daily. Like 4 of the Lawnards have sent me salves for my neck. I have one of the hemp ones on right now. So I'm very much appreciative of all of you. Carmel said, I put my neck out checking my blind spot once. This is the thing though. My neck sometimes is just like, hey, would you like to turn your head? Yeah, fuck you. That's not what we're doing. Oh, you thought you were sleeping on that pillow, did you? Who do you think you are, bitch? That's not what we're doing. And so it's just a mess. We need to cover Britney, hopefully tomorrow, Murdaugh and Ricky Martin. I have started seeing the stuff coming out with Ricky Martin. I need more information before I jump down that rabbit hole. The Murdaugh stuff is next week's podcast because I absolutely it needs to be a podcast. It has to be a podcast. It's going to keep me focused. I'm going to go back through the timeline. I have like a part 1. It's so much stuff. I actually do have some Amica cream for my neck. I got sent some homemade Amica cream for my neck. But it does help some with the muscles, but it helps better with the bruising. So what's the average age of us? You know, my neck has been a problem since I was like, I don't know, 11, but I did have a neck injury again as a kid. Like, on a backboard in a neck brace, neck injury, and nothing's quite been right since then. So even though we are collectively of the age where if you sneeze wrong, it might be a disaster, that I feel like sometimes that just has no age too. So with that, I have all the things. I'm going to be doing all the things. I'm going to be taking a hot bath and yeah. Somebody said over 40, we get injured sneezing. I love seeing how old you guys are if you want to share, but somebody said, I have 17 problems and my neck and back. Oh, and then the chat jumped. I was assuming that the neck and back were included in those problems because me. But again, I've had multiple back surgeries. It was part of what led to me leaving the district attorney's office. So my body can be a little precarious. Rena, I will put the podcast link over for the Murdaugh episodes over on Facebook in a little bit. I will make sure to do that. But my podcast is The Emily Show. And if you go on to my website, emilydbaker.com, you can search by topic and it will get you all of the topics. My web designer, who is also like a full ass engineer, she is so incredible and has made the podcast on the website. I've got to show, I'm bragging and I'm going to show you the amazing work my friend did. I'm like, I've got friends that code and they're so good. So if you go to my website, Emily, are you ready to share your screen? Nah. We're professionals here. Do you share your screen literally every single time you stream? Yes, every single time. Every single time. So if you go to my website, you can go to the podcast and you can literally go and search by topic and find whatever you are looking for. So when we get there, why are we not loading? Because there's so many episodes. you can search it. I forget where the search is. I think it's probably at the bottom, but you can search it by topic somewhere on the page. I've completely forgotten where. Where's my search? Did my search disappear? Oh, my search might have disappeared. That's not helpful. Oh, it's under all episodes. Ha! Well, me, Emily, how much do you use your own website? Only when I'm explaining things. So if you go to all episodes or listen now, you can find it that way. And there, I'm going to have to go find my search function and see where it is, because now I'm curious. Now we're just redoing my website. Where does our listen now take us? Oh, we're going slow. Now I have to look as I'm bragging on my friend. Sam, we need to find our search button. So you can go through here and find the episodes that you are looking for. This is the latest episode. And then when you go back to all episodes, it will take you to all of the previous episodes, and you should be able to get to them by topic. So I will absolutely figure out where that is, me, as I go to, I'm like, I love it. I love the way that it works. And now I'm like, wait, where'd it go? So now I've got to ask, how long has it been since I've been on my website? So long. So long. Well, I'm glad that Emily never fails to crack you up. And sometimes Emily failing should be the funniest thing ever. So you can find that on the website. And you can also find it on your favorite podcasting app. So with that, let us move into a real quick bit. This is something I'm happy to see it. It's hard to say I'm happy when people are in it and are like in for it, but I'm happy about this one. Do you ever use Epsom salts? Yes. Actually, I have some great ones that were recommended to me by my massage therapist, who literally keeps me moving here in Tennessee, who has literally been sent from the heavens above onto earth to be a healer and is an incredible person and does physical therapy plus massage plus all the things. And she recommended one that's amazing. I will add it to my Amazon store because it's Epsom salts plus, and it's amazing. They have other salts in them too. The most amazing, because all of us are like, we have pain. Me too. So I'll add that there. All right, let's do a quick swoop. This is really going to be a quick bit. It's not a weekly roundup because we're just talking Girardi. So should we just roll the quick bits bumper? Yeah, fuck it. It's not a Tuesday, but we're going for it anyway. Quick bits. Why? Because I like my bumpers so much. And then I've got to start playing our sound effects again. I was so excited when we first got them, and then I was like, and then I just forget. All right, this is coming from Brandon Lowry, who has been doing incredible reporting over at Law 360 regarding the Girardi case. Literally great. The State Bar of California wants copies of sealed records as part of a previously undisclosed investigation into two former Girardi case lawyers. For those of you that need a little bit of a roundup, Tom Girardi, disgraced lawyer, married to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erica Girardi. Erica Jane is her stage name. His firm crumbled early in 2020 due to staggering allegations that he had stolen money from his clients. In some cases, that has been proven. So while some are still alleged, some are not alleged and have been proven, especially when we're talking about like the Rigomez family, to the tune of over $11 million. The creditors forced Tom Girardi and his law firm into bankruptcy, and the fucking wheels came off. The earrings also came off. Tom Girardi's now in a conservatorship, like Britney Spears was, saying that he is mentally incapacitated and unable to make decisions for himself. Because of that conservatorship, his ability to practice law was yeeted, and then they actually recently just disbarred him. It looks like upwards of $100 million owed to creditors. A lot of those creditors are clients. Some of them are legal lenders. It is so much. 2 bankruptcies, one of the person, Tom Girardi, the human, one of the law firm, Girardi Keese. Erica Girardi has gotten pulled into all of this. She is not a debtor. She is not named as one of the debtors on these bankruptcies. She's named in other litigation. The bankruptcy trustee for the law firm took her earrings, literally snatched her bling because it had been paid for by a check out of a client trust account. Those earrings at the time were worth $750,000 and are now worth more than that. They were turned over to the bankruptcy trustee to be sold and then go back into the bankruptcy estate so that the money can be doled out to those who are creditors. Then all of this other stuff started happening. Most of the shit hit the fan because the judge in the Lion Air case, the case with the literal widows and orphans in Illinois, was like, what is happening? The attorney for Edelson PC, Jay Edelson, was like, our clients haven't gotten paid. Co-counsel, Girardi Keese, got the funds from Boeing and our clients haven't been paid. And the court was like, why not? I want an investigation. I want a contempt hearing. I want to freeze your assets, Tom Girardi, until we figure out WTF is happening here. And that's when everything started spiraling. That was the first lawsuit. Edelson PC did a very good job of having these tantalizing nuggets in the lawsuit to get it picked up by the press. And that lawsuit alleged that the divorce was a sham and a bunch of other things. Erica Girardi had filed in quick time for divorce from Tom. That's not going to save her from all of the debt that is mounting her direction. So that is a very, very quick summary of the mess that I've been covering for the last 2 years. This is the most staggering theft from clients I have seen. This is not the most staggering lawyer fall from grace I have seen, because so far there are no alleged homicides, which is not the case when we talk about Alec Murdaugh, attorney in South Carolina. In that case, there are murders. So this one, there are thefts. Lots more money thieved, but no actual murders that have been alleged. God, I hope we don't end up there. Let's just not end up there. We don't want to end up there. So, the State Bar of California wants copies of sealed records as part of a previously undisclosed investigation into two former Girardi Keese lawyers accused of helping the firm steal more than $2 million from settlements meant for widows and orphans of plane crash victims. I love that everyone's just leaned into the widows and orphans. There's no getting away from it. According to a motion filed Friday in Chicago federal court, the filing offers the first public indication that the bar is investigating Los Angeles-based attorneys David Lira and Keith Griffin. David Lira, for those of you who are fans of Housewives or have been following me in this case, will know that that is Tom Girardi's son-in-law. Just let that sink in for a minute. Tom Girardi's daughter is married to David Lira. David Lira starts working at Tom Girardi's firm. Not only has her father fallen from grace in a spectacular way, there will be no money left for anyone, not even all of the clients that were stolen from in this case. There will not be enough money left. But her husband is now going to be investigated, and these two attorneys might be left holding the bag. Why? They worked at the firm. I know everyone wants to pin everything on Erica Girardi. I know that her behavior on social media is so off-putting. I get all of it. I get that she benefited from this, that the money that was expensive to be her was taken from those who had been grievously injured. I understand all of that. But the people who helped take that money, not spend it, take it, are also being investigated, and that needs to happen. So, Tom Girardi's daughter is going to get stuck way in the middle of all of this. Way. Because these attorneys helped. That's different than spent the money. These attorneys helped. So, let us continue. Oh, and the last time everything was auctioned off from Girardi Keese, these earrings will be auctioned off. Other things will be auctioned off. They auctioned off lingerie that went to podcaster Ryan Bailey. Lingerie that was not purchased for Erica that was in Tom's office drawer. Things were uncovered. Maybe later in the chat, if we've had enough to drink, I will tell you what the home edit found in my closet that I had forgotten to move before they came to rearrange my closet. It was not a stack of anything, singular. All right. The filing offers the first public indication that the bar is investigating LA-based attorneys David Lear and Keith Griffin. Right, because there's nothing else that they can do to Tom Girardi. Nothing else. He's in a conservatorship. He's been disbarred. All of his shit's in bankruptcy. There's nothing else they can do. Coming more than a year and a half after the settlement theft became public and 6 weeks after their former boss, Tom Girardi, was disbarred for stealing from clients. It's not all alleged. Some of it's alleged, but not all of it's alleged. Some of it's fucking proven. So it's interesting to watch the show where Erica's like, if these, people aren't lying, the state bar, when they disbarred Tom Girardi, which happened after when she was filming the parts where she's saying this shit, determined that he stole from clients. The judge in Illinois determined that he stole from clients. Another court determined that he stole from the Ruy Gomez family. That's not alleged. Alleged. The firm's founder, Jay Edelson, told Law 360 that the California bar had failed to promptly and thoroughly probe the other former Girardi case lawyers. We think it's the first public confirmation that the bar has done little, if anything, to investigate the matter, Edelson wrote in an email. The fact that they are only now starting to look at some of the facts as they refuse to do a full investigation or appoint an independent prosecutor is the real news. And what I appreciate so much about Jay Edelson is that Jay Edelson's focus has been on recovering money for his clients, the clients in the Lion Air crash, and pulling back the curtain on what the other lawyers were up to. So when you see him share anything on Twitter, it's been, this is what's happening. This is what was said. This is the contempt hearing. There is no need to besmirch, ad hominem attack, anything. It's just been, this is what's going on. And it seems that Edelson PC will be doggedly going after this case. Do they stand to benefit? Sure. They didn't get their attorney's fees either. Will they probably get their attorney's fees? Nope. They're at the back of the line with everybody else. So do I think that they are going to benefit in some way from this other than from the publicity as being an ethical law firm that's trying to fight for their clients? Probably not. That's probably the big takeaway. So I appreciate the tenacity that we've seen from Edelson PC. And I appreciated the candor that we saw in the contempt hearing, but I covered that ages ago. Lyra and Griffin opposed Edelson's motion late Friday, saying the documents may be protected by attorney-client privilege. Girardi Keese owes more than $100 million to former clients, co-counsel, lenders, and vendors following years of alleged financial misconduct and fraud, according to bankruptcy records. The only attorney disciplined in the scandals so far has been Girardi himself. The State Bar of California did not immediately comment on the filing or Edelson's criticisms. As a matter of law and policy, the agency does not comment on most investigations into attorney that have not resulted in public disciplinary charges. Lyra and Griffin face possible contempt rulings and other sanctions before the U.S. District Judge Thomas Durkin, who was not playing with this at all. At all. Who oversees the litigation of the Lion Air Flight 610 crash. Judge Durkin had found Girardi and his firm in contempt in December 2020 after Edelson alerted him that its co-counsel at Girardi Keese had apparently misappropriated their mutual clients' settlement funds. That's the lawsuit that had the actual voicemails attached to it. It's wild. Lyra and Griffin, this is a really good question. I'm flagging it so I can get back to it. I'm just letting you know I see it. It's a really good question. And we're going to get there in just a minute when I'm done with this article, or I will derail like I'm doing now. Lyra and Griffin are accused of participating in the misconduct and of trying to hide the thefts from Edelson and their clients. They have denied wrongdoing, saying Girardi alone had the power over the firm's trust accounts. Interestingly enough, what we've learned in the bankruptcy is that is not strictly true, that others had signing authority on some of the accounts. Lyra, however, had keep reading, Emily. The keep reading merch is coming. The keep reading merch is coming. Keep reading. Brandon's like, no, I got you. I see it too. That's happening. Lyra, however, had authority to sign checks from the client trust accounts, but has testified that he has learned that his signature was forged many times. Yikes. Judge Durkin held contempt hearings for them in December 2021, but has yet to rule. I attended those via phone. They were very illuminating. I can't believe that was December 2021. Things have changed so fast. I've lost all sense of time. It's July, and I've lost all sense of time. It feels like that was just like 2 months ago. I can't believe the judge hasn't ruled yet. There's a lot. The judge literally in that contempt hearing was like, how can I fine all of you? How can I make all of you pay these clients back? I want to know how I can discipline you. It might be under the law that all the judge can do is discipline Tom Girardi and Girardi Keese, which he's already done. But the judge is looking for a way to punish everybody. So that's what's up. And the judge told the lawyers, I want you to brief me on how I can punish you. Basically. It's basically like hazing in a sorority. It's like, how would you like me to haze you today? But like the legal version. How would you like me to punish you? A senior disciplinary official at the bar told Edelson in November 2021 that the agency was waiting to consider action against the pair until after the bar could review the evidence and the judge's order following the hearing, according to emails that Edelson provided to Law 360. Counsel for Lyra did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Counsel for Griffin declined to comment. Lyra, who is Girardi's son-in-law, is now a member of the Los Angeles plaintiff firms Ingelstrom, Lipscomb, and Lack. That must be really stressful for all of them. Which had long-standing business ties to Girardi Keese. Griffin is an attorney at another Los Angeles plaintiff's firm, Dordick. Wait, is that Dordick? Am I saying that right? Dordick Law Corp. I wanted to read that Dobrick, but I'm dyslexic, so I think that's Dordick. Right? Okay. My brain. Girardi was a high-profile and politically connected. Well, politically connected because he was spending millions on politicians and millions on political campaigns. Girardi was a high-profile and politically connected trial lawyer who had rocketed to fame as one of the lawyers involved in the groundwater pollution case that resulted in a $333 million settlement and inspired the 2000 film Erin Brockovich. Did Erin Brockovich come out in 2000? Wait, challenge. Did Erin Brockovich really come out in 2000? It was March 14th, 2000. Why do I feel like that movie came out well, I guess that is 20 years ago, 22 years ago. That felt like it feels 90s-ish, right? It feels 90s-ish. No, it was released March 14th, 2000. All right. I don't doubt you, Brandon Lowry. I doubt my brain. I doubt my brain. Somebody said we pushed past Dordick way too quick. I don't know what else to say. Maybe it's pushing back on us. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say about Dordick Law Corp. I mean, if you're a lawyer, I guess having Dick in your last name works. Kind of like Rottenborn. I mean, why not? My last name was so bland. It's like Baker. All right. His downfall in 2020 threw a spotlight on the State Bar of California, which had failed to publicly discipline Girardi despite decades of allegations that he had stolen money or engaged in other serious misconduct. The agency, which had in the past employed several personal friends of Girardi, the state bar. When they say the agency, they mean the state bar. He also threw them big fancy parties. The agency, which had in the past employed several personal friends of Girardi, has since admitted to making unspecified mistakes. An understatement. In investigations of Girardi that spanned 40 years. 40 years. I can't. The bar pulled Girardi's license to practice law and filed disciplinary charges against him in March 2021. Girardi, who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, did not fight the bar charges and is now in a conservatorship. His conservator's his brother. The Supreme Court of California disbarred Girardi last month. It took them like a year. The State Bar of California obtained state Senate confirmation for the new chief of its disciplinary system late last month. New boss. Come on in like a wrecking ball, boss. Because this is the shit that makes the entire profession look bad. It's time to bring the hammer. Bring the action. This month, the agency filed disciplinary charges against its past executive director, Joseph Dunn. Oh. So the bar is now disciplining the bar. An attorney and former state senator who was friends with Girardi. Bar prosecutors say Dunn lied to the bar's board of trustees about opposition to legislation he wanted it to support, and about the use of bar funds on a trip to Mongolia with the board's former executive director. What the fuck do you need to do in Mongolia as the California State Bar? Like, go to Mongolia, have a great trip. Don't spend bar funds. Oh, wait, it gets worse. Okay, just kidding. Dunn lied to the bar's board of trustees. Wait, bar prosecutors say Dunn, let's just be clear, but bar prosecutors say Dunn lied to the bar's board of trustees about opposition to legislation he wanted it to support and about the use of bar funds on a trip to Mongolia with the board's former executive director, who was then a Girardi case attorney, and another bar employee who was close friends with Tom Girardi. I guess if you don't want people to investigate your shit, just be friends with all of them. And maybe they have an interest in all of it. Seems like that was working out real well for Tom Girardi because he got away with this for 40 years. And now he's in his 80s and everyone else is going to be left to clean up the wreckage. Yes, his name is disgraced, but he's going to live out the rest of his days. This is going to have ripple effects. The lives that are going to be destroyed and have been destroyed are going to ripple. And he is not going to get the worst of it. He lived his best life up until 83 years old. And then is just going to kind of... Erica's going to be left, for all you think of her, Erica is going to be left with a fucking crater of debt and potentially a lot of problems with the IRS and the Franchise Tax Board. His daughter is going to get hosed by the son-in-law being involved in all of this. And the son-in-law is not getting out of any of this. And that's not even to mention the clients who were catastrophically injured, got settlements, and then didn't get their settlements from their lawyer, who are still not going to get paid out of this bankruptcy because there is not going to be enough money. Duchess of Descent, yes, that's what pisses me off. He just fades into the sunset. Yep. Girardi being a crook and then piecing out. Yep. On July 7th, Edelson filed a racketeering lawsuit against Girardi, Lyra Griffin, Girardi's business associate, George Hatcher, Girardi's estranged wife, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Girardi, among others, alleging they were part of the largest Ponzi scheme in the history of plaintiff's law. Girardi Keys not Girardi Keys, Edelson PC turns a phrase about Girardi Keys quite well, and I always appreciate it. The insane eraser, no one wins in this. No one. No one at all. The suit, which alleges, among other claims, violations of the Federal Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, wire fraud, mail fraud, money laundering, obstruction of justice, is seeking $50 million in damages on behalf of Edelson's former Lion Air crash clients. Edelson's represented by Jay Edelson, and then they get into who the lawyers are on all parts of it. I also saw, as we're finishing up Girardi, I also saw tale that Erica Girardi has been sued again. It is in page 6. I have not seen the filings. I do not know how they are going to tie this latest lawsuit properly to Erica. It doesn't seem like it can be properly tied to Erica. But the page 6 headline is, and this is what page 6 is saying, I'm not getting into it too deep because I have not seen it. It looks like it's probably a Friday filing that hasn't hit the website yet. Erica's lawyer says that he has not seen the filing yet. I imagine the filing was given to page 6 first. This is an exclusive. Am I surprised that this filing was given to page 6? Not at all. Nicolas Cage's ex sues Erica Jane for $700,000 plus over alleged stolen funds. But Nicolas Cage's ex-girlfriend, Christina Fulton, is suing Erica Jane and 2 other former Girardi and Keys attorneys. I'm much more interested in what the other attorneys had to do with it. In documents exclusively obtained by page 6, the actress claims Jane's estranged husband, disgraced attorney Tom Girardi, and his ex-colleagues, Samantha Gould and John Kelly Courtney, misappropriated her settlement funds to support their personal lifestyles. How are they going to tie Erica into this? I don't know. Fulton, 55, was involved in a car accident in January 2016, sustained severe injuries as a result. Soon after, sought legal representation from the then prestigious firm Girardi Keys. The case resulted in a confidential settlement, as so many do, in March 2019, with a settlement amount of $924,300. Here's my question. I need to take a look at how they're getting around statute of limitations on this, if this just got filed, because the statute of limitations on this stuff can be quite short, and that agreement's 2019, so you know you're not getting paid. Gould was Fulton's primary counsel. Let's see. According to the lawsuit that page 6 apparently has, through newly discovered financial documents, she discovered where her settlement funds went. That might help with the statute of limitations, but I'm still curious how they get around that. That's the biggest issue I see. But when I see these documents, I will go over them if you're interested. Let's see. This seems like this was a while ago. This feels like a minute ago. Fulton and Cage started dating in 1988. I swear to God. If somebody put my name in a headline with somebody I dated, well, I wasn't dating anyone in 1988 because I was 10, but if they put my name in a headline with like someone I dated that many years ago, like, why are you getting dragged into this? Oh, because that's the headline. The headline is Nicolas Cage, ex, sues Erica Jane. I don't know how they're going to find liability for her here. Erica's lawyer in all of this, Evan C. Borges, says that he has not seen the lawsuit yet. Jane's attorney tells page 6 he hasn't seen the full complaint yet, but believes that two fundamental undisputed facts will emerge from, quote, all the lawsuits that try to make Erica responsible for the actions of her estranged husband. Evan C. Borges first notes that his client is a non-lawyer who had no role in the actions of Girardi or others in dealing with the disbarred lawyer's clients or finances. And second, she thought she was married to an extremely wealthy attorney with a financially successful law firm. It's a distraction tactic and specious for lawyers representing former Girardi Keys clients to use Erica's lifestyle and persona on a housewife show as an excuse to sue her. There was no love lost between Evan C. Borges, the attorney for Erica Jane, and the attorney that filed this case, Ronald Richards, which is why this went directly to page 6. I have not seen it in court. Evan C. Borges says he hasn't seen it either. I'm sure it went there first. Is there anything wrong with that? No. But I understand why Evan C. Borges is like, for fuck's sake. Like FFS. How do you connect Erica Jane in all of this? We'll see. We'll see how Erica Jane is connected in all of this when I see the documents, because I have not seen them yet. So with that, Nick Cage has got to be like, God damn it. This has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with me. So did we find out yet if Edelson's insurance paid out? We did not. Oh, I had questions that I had starred. So with that, that's what page 6 is saying. When we see this newest lawsuit against Erica Girardi, we will take it. We will take a look. I do have CBD oil for my neck, Diane. Thank you. We did that. I also have a heat thing that I will absolutely use. Let's see. There was, I was looking for my question. From Tally. Question. If a lawyer is disbarred, does attorney-client privilege stay intact? Generally, with their clients, yes, it does. Because that privilege attached to the client at the time. So it's the client's privilege to waive, not the attorney's privilege to waive. And then we had another question in that vein from Counsel 1. How are they maybe protected by attorney-client privilege? This is the Girardi Keese lawyers. They now have their own lawyers involved in the sanctions hearings and those things. So they have their own attorneys dealing with them being investigated. So they're saying I'll show you what the motion says real quick. So they are saying that the things being sought that are protected might be protected by attorney-client privilege per this article. So let me see. This is from Edelson PC in the Lion Air case. The motion for modification of confidentiality order. The court entered a confidentiality order that applies only to the contempt proceedings in this action. Edelson PC requests the order be modified to permit it to share the unredacted exhibits from the contempt hearing with the State Bar of California and any other state bar who similarly agrees to a confidentiality order. So we can give it to the investigators, but the investigators then have to keep it confidential. In support thereof, Edelson states, the evidentiary portion of the contempt proceedings hearings concluded on December 14th, 2022. Oh, that seems wrong. That was 2021. The proceeding was conducted with unredacted exhibits. The parties have filed a complete set of those exhibits under seal. The State Bar has requested copies of the exhibits as part of an investigation into David Lira and Keith Griffin. There's the tea. That's the tea. Good cause exists to modify a protective order, and then they talk about why. The signatory to the confidentiality order with a relevant interest in the confidentiality of the protected material is Boeing. And then they go into why it can be done. I think there will be objections, but if the State Bar is not going to disclose those and also has a confidentiality order, then I think we can get into this. So, can victims go after the former California bar executives civilly? No. The bar executives would be protected by the privilege that attaches to their jobs as civil servants. So no, could the State Bar get sued? I still haven't answered that question for myself. I haven't found a clear answer one way or the other. But could the individuals get sued? Not generally. It's all part of their work. So, and that's a hard thing. It's like judges. People are like, can't we sue Britney's first judge? No, you can't sue Britney's first judge. The judge is protected under privilege based on their job. So with that, that's the end of the Girardi stuff. I know you guys are like, when are we getting to Britney? I didn't think I would talk about that long, but it's such fuckery. It's just such amazing levels of fuckery in this case. So let us move on. Oh, I saw a number of you ask about this, and it's Friday Night Live, so we'll talk about it real quick. because I'm sure there are people on tonight that weren't on last night, so let us talk about it. We still have the second channel that we are trying to get to 100K. And if you have not yet subscribed, I'm going to remind you that you should. The Quick Bits channel, if you just type in Quick Bits Emily D. Baker, you will see it. We are at 98.4. So I'll check in with it again at the end of the stream. But if you just put in Quick Bits, you will find Emily D. Baker Quick Bits. It will come right up. This is the channel where all of my YouTube shorts go and where all of these shorter videos go. No, I don't want to hear me talking about things. Damn it. But this is like a 28, they're 30 minutes and under, 28 minutes, 16 minutes, 7 minutes, 22 minutes. That's where the shorter things go. So, Lisanne, I did talk about escrow accounts in my other content on Girardi. The next time we do Girardi stuff, I will talk about it. Hey, Ben Dover. I've seen the reports about Ricky Martin. I need to look into it more. So far, the reports I've seen are deeply disturbing. We need to look into it more. So thank you to everyone who's already subscribed to Quick Bits. I appreciate it. Let us get into Britney. I need a stinger. At some point, I just need to make a stinger that says it's Britney, bitch. Like, that's what I need. When we're never going to be done covering it. I need to make a real quick stinger that's just like, it's Britney, bitch. Because that's where we're going right now. Buckle up. Why is Britney Spears back in court? Because her father is not going to stop. James Yeeted Spears is just not done yet. The conservatorship ended. And there are still a ton of motions going on that started during the conservatorship. But wait, there's more. There is a fight over discovery in this case. Britney's attorney, Rosengart, who we stan, has been asking Yeeted to sit for a deposition and to turn over documents and answer interrogatories, to participate in discovery, because they are trying to figure out where the fuck did the money go and what happened during this conservatorship. Yeeted Spears is doing what Yeeted Spears does and is doing things like, I'll sit for a deposition if Britney sits for a deposition. That's not how that works. The manipulation that we have seen from Yeeted Spears, and if you go back to my very first video on this conservatorship, it's a podcast episode, it's up on the channel. If you go back to my very first one, I try to give Yeeted the benefit of the doubt. From me saying, look, maybe he was afraid and is just operating from a place of fear and didn't know what to do and just got wrapped on up and is just afraid to let go. Maybe there's some rational thought behind this of just the fear of losing your child, of losing control. And once you get so deep into it, 13 years, how do you get out? I have gone from there to, listen, motherfucker, knock it off, in everything that I've read in the last 2+ years. We started with maybe he's operating from fear to nope. I did not come into this thinking that Yeeted Spears was absolutely the worst. Did not. And now my opinion has changed. So I will remind you, chat, that Yeeted Spears is the name we have for him. I know it is very tempting to name call and wish ill on this individual, but we don't need to. Karma is going to be, it's Britney, bitch, in this case. But I appreciate no ad hominem attacks in the chat and no diagnosing mental conditions, including personality disorders. I know that the behavior is so in line with other cases that we cover. I cannot diagnose behavior. That is not my expertise. The characteristics are very similar to other characteristics we have seen. I agree with you, but thank you that we are just saying Yeeted. We are done. So thank you for no ad hominem attacks. And as we parse through this, he's had some big losses in court. Here's what we are all going to put in. We are going to put our energy behind is Rosengart being the fucking GOAT in this case. Rosengart is a former prosecutor, and he's like, look, I might be a civil litigator now, but if somebody ends up at jail, it's a bonus. And we'll just do that with pink tie flapping in the wind and a free Britney sign. We're just going to do it. Get it, Rosengart. So Rosengart's all in on this case. Britney has the support that she needs to keep this moving forward. Her family keeps trying to pull her back. It feels. But damn, she is absolutely getting her voice back. She is absolutely getting her voice back. And I've seen some, I don't know, derogatory comments about her behavior on social media. And here's what I want to say about that. Britney's life has been controlled since she was on Mickey Mouse Club by her parents. And this is the first time she gets full autonomy as a human. So if she is on Instagram acting like she's 19, it's because when she was 19, she didn't get to do that. And we're all just going to let Britney do whatever the fuck she wants. She's not hurting anybody. And her ass looks great. Get it, Britney. Go ahead. You do you on Instagram, boo-boo. Share whatever you want. Do it. Live your life. Tell your dad to fuck off. It's fine. Rebel against your parents. You didn't get to do that ever. So seeing people be like, oh my God, Britney this and Britney this. No. Don't come at me with it. Let her live her life. Let her rebel. Let her do whatever she wants. Let her look amazing and roll around in the sand and share what she wants to share. You do you, girl. Be free. If her husband had an issue, they can have a conversation about it. It is not for the internet to have an opinion about. The internet will have its opinions, but the opinion on this channel is Britney. Go off, bitch. You earned it. Cheers. We love you. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All right. We're going to talk about Variety's reporting on this because Variety's Elizabeth Wagmeister, I hope I pronounced that right, has been fantastic. She's been in court and covering these. So we're going to go through that and then we're going to go through all the court orders. But the backstory is there is still the 12th accounting. Y'all, the fucking 12th accounting from years gone by now is the one about all of the lawyers' fees and the media matters and the money. James Spears is still trying to get Britney Spears' estate to pay his legal fees. We're going to talk about it. The 12th accounting is still out there. Britney is fighting for all of the discovery in this case to figure out what fuckery happened since the beginning of this conservatorship, and they are not going to stop, and they are entitled to it. Remember, attorney-client privilege in a conservatorship flows with the job description, not the individual. James Spears does not have attorney-client privilege with his attorneys. The Office of Conservator has attorney-client privilege. That means he has to turn over everything, all of it. That is why yeeting him before ending the conservatorship was so important. Oh my God, I've had literally a fraction of this glass and my face is already pink. Literally, I cannot. This is why Rosengart did not move just to end the conservatorship. And when Rosengart was trying to yeet James Spears moved to end the conservatorship because James Spears wanted to be the last standing conservator. Nay, that's not what happened. He's yeeted. He does not have attorney-client privilege in any of this. It all gets turned over. The surveillance information, if any, the money, the conversations he and Lou M. Taylor were having at the beginning of all of this, all of it. His life is going to get very uncomfortable. like the back of a VW. All right, let us, for all of you that get that joke in the chat, just put it in there. Very uncomfortable, like the back of the VW. Emily's meter is her neck. Yes, tonight it is. I have a little bit, look, I have a very, very, very big flush response. Do you know that on 23andMe, they tell you that? They tell me that. Flush response, all. I need to get a Peter Mon style fan. Look, I should turn my fan on. Hold on. We're going to just do that. We're going to just get some air in this place. Hopefully it's not loud. We've got our Britney Spears shirt on. Yes, I'm feeling myself. All right. Normally I would have somebody come and help. Normally I would have someone come and help turn on the fan, but everybody's out rock climbing. Thank you all. It's a scooter. It's a scooter. The way I love mall rats. Oh my God. You guys, I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to be so excited when Clerks 3 comes out. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you the way I love Kevin Smith movies. Okay, we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving. Mallrats. Audience that has not seen Mallrats, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega. You need some Mallrats in your life. It's amazing. It's amazing. You just need a laugh. Okay. In major victory for Britney Spears, judge orders James Yeeted Spears to be deposed and to produce surveillance records. Suck it, Yeeted. His new attorney's not going to be happy at all. Weingarten's going to be pissed. A judge ruled that Britney Spears' father, Yeeted Spears, must sit for a deposition and produce all documents that are being requested by the pop star's team. Boom. Boom. The judge ordered Spears' father will be deposed within the next 30 days in Los Angeles. Get it, Judge Penny. And this is why I get so confused when people call Judge Ascarati, Judge Penny, because when we talk on this channel about Judge Penny, I'm thinking of actually this Judge Penny from Britney's case, not Judge Penny Ascarati. I think of Judge Penny Ascarati as Judge A. I know it's a lot to keep up with how I nickname people. Sometimes it's first name, sometimes it's last name, sometimes it's something completely irrelevant. We're just going with it. Judge Penny ordered Yeeted to produce all documents related to electronic surveillance. This move favors the singer and indicates that the court believes it has reason to further inquire into the shocking allegations that Yeeted Spears had hired a security firm that put his daughter under surveillance throughout her conservatorship with allegations of monitoring her phone and bugging her bedroom to record her private conversations. Yeah, because a whistleblower fucking said it. Liz Day and the New York Times blew that shit up and let everyone know what was up. It was wild. You want to look at some good investigative journalism? They were doing it. So I'm not a journalist. I don't have the tenacity to follow things down like that. I just want to look at the court records. I'm glad that there are investigative journalists that do want to do it. Prior to the judge's ruling on these motions, Yeeted Spears' attorney Weingarten asked the judge to give his team access to documents from the singer's team to help prepare for his client's deposition. It's a deposition, not an ambush, Weingarten said in the courtroom. Good luck, buddy. The hearing in the Los Angeles Superior Courthouse was heated with fiery debate among Weingarten and the pop star's attorney Rosengart. You know Rosengart loves that shit. Wednesday's hearing marked a big victory for the singer, who has been fighting against her father in a continuous legal battle ever since her conservatorship was terminated last year. Yeah, the money. The money. Spears was put under court-ordered conservatorship in 2008 by her father, Yeeted, who acted as her sole conservator for most of the 13 years. Well, Andrew Wallet was a co-conservator of part of it, to be fair. After more than a decade of fighting against the arrangement, Yeeted was suspended by the court in September 2021, and the conservatorship was ultimately terminated in November 2021. He was yeeted. Despite the singer's newfound freedom, her legal team's battle has remained messy with no resolution from either side. Fair. Still on the table after Wednesday's hearing is whether the singer will be deposed by her father's team. The judge nearly reached a decision on that matter, first giving a tentative order denying James Spears' motion to depose his daughter, but then decided to continue the motion, asking the attorneys on both sides to present their arguments to the court on why the singer should or should not sit for deposition ahead of the July 27th hearing. This is going back to court at the end of the month. You don't sit down a victim for a deposition to be deposed by the victimizer, Rosengart argued in the courtroom, telling the judge that sitting for deposition would be re-traumatizing to the singer. And what information does she have? Look, what the fuck? She was the conservatee. The entire premise was that she was incapable of having legal autonomy over her life. So how can she sit for a deposition and talk about that when she was in the conservatorship? How can you depose her about anything that happened in the conservatorship when the court ruled that she did not have the legal mental capacity to hire her own fucking attorney? How can you depose her about anything? For legal purposes, they determined her to not be competent to hire counsel. You don't get to depose her. Because how can you? I'm sure that's not a legally sound argument. That's just my gut. But Rosengart, I mean, anything you've got there, like how can Team Rosengart look? Your firm does brilliant work. Your footnotes are sassy. There are hardly, if ever, typos. Your sentences make sense and have proper punctuation. We stand. But can you please explain to us in your motions how someone who is deemed mentally incapacitated by the court can sit for a deposition to talk about the period of time when she was mentally incapacitated? How does that even work? Please explain. We would all very much like to know. The internet has questions. Last month, Weingarten filed documents on behalf of Jamie Spears requesting to depose his daughter. This was such a bunch of gaslighty bullshit. I'll sit for a deposition if you sit for a deposition. No. Oh, I can't go DEFCON red yet, you guys. We've got more to go. And once we go to DEFCON red, there's nowhere else to go. In court on Wednesday, Weingarten said that having Spears sit for a deposition is par for the course, since she is a party to the case. No. Rosengart firmly disagreed. I agree with you, Rosengart. She's not a party to the case. She was the subject of the case, not a party. A party implies that she had some fucking control, which she didn't. She was the conservatee. You guys are like, we've gone DEFCON Death Star before. We've done it before. Okay, fine. We're going DEFCON red for the purpose of yelling about Yeeted Spears trying to get Britney Spears to sit for a deposition because the fuckery is literally at DEFCON WTF. So with that, it's fair. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. We're just getting all of it tonight. This will flash. I will be flashy. And so if we are flashy, it will stop when the music stops. If you are flash sensitive, just know that we are going to DEFCON red in 3, 2, 1, flash. My DEFCON red button didn't work. I have a DEFCON red button and the lights aren't playing along with me tonight. So now we've got to do it manually. So it's a little anticlimactic this evening. Because why would it work? Because why would we do what we're supposed to do? Lights, normally things run so smoothly. And you guys are like, when, Emily? When do they work so smoothly? But there we go. All right. Word our nice DEFCON-y red. The fuckery, y'all. The fuckery. Arguing that Spears' father should have all of the information he needs. I personally don't give a fuck if Yeeted Spears has what he needs. But legally, I understand their argument. It's not the worst argument. It's not a juror 15 level. Elaine Bredehoff Trillery nonsense argument. But also, I don't care. That's my personal opinion. Given that he was the one who was running her conservatorship and making decisions about her life. Oh, Rosengart, okay, better. I had to back up. Rosengart firmly disagreed, arguing that Spears' father should have all the information he needs, given that he was the one who was running her conservatorship and making decisions about his life. He was there. He was there. He already knows it. That, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It's always funny in criminal when you would get defense attorneys asking on behalf of their client for something, and it's like, your client was there. Ask them. I don't have that information. They do. Ask them. Miss Spears was in a conservatorship for 13 years that was run by her father, Rosengart told the judge. Mr. Spears is the individual who has documentation and firsthand knowledge. Mr. Spears and the documentation serve as the evidence. Miss Spears has no knowledge or documents. Right, because she was kept in the fucking dark. She was the conservatee. Rosengart continued, telling the judge that she is the victim in this situation. She's not the accuser. She's not the alleger, he said. Miss Spears is not a plaintiff here. Miss Spears is not a defendant here, i.e. not a party. Rosengart told the judge that his client's father is only filing motions to drive up fees instead of letting his daughter move on with her life. James Spears, I just want to move on. Also, James Spears, here's all of the legal motions I can think to file that I'm going to try to charge the conservatorship for, because we're going to get to that motion in a minute. I want to move on, but I don't want to move on. I want to move on, but I don't want to move on. Talk about not letting it go. She is free and yeeted once to suck her back into the conservatorship or into this deeply unhealthy and fucking toxic dynamic that comes with this type of dynamic. Just saying. She is free and yeeted wants to suck her back into the conservatorship for improper, immoral reasons. At one point, pleading with the judge to allow his team to depose the pop star, Weingarten said, quote, unfortunately, there are no documents under seal and court orders. Unfortunately, there are documents under seal and court orders regarding the electronic surveillance. Wait. Do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what I hear? Here's what I hear in that statement. From the reporter that was in court, thank you for what you do. Parking near Stanley Mosque is a fucking nightmare. At one point, pleading with the judge to allow his team to depose the pop star, Weingarten said that, quote, unfortunately, there are documents under seal and, quote, court orders regarding the electronic surveillance. So it happened. So every single, Jesus, I'm ranty tonight. Every single motion where you say that there's no surveillance, you're now saying that the surveillance is in sealed court orders and documents? What? Oh my God. Motion after motion after motion of, well, just because the New York Times says there's surveillance doesn't mean there's surveillance. There's no surveillance. Unfortunately, there are documents under seal and court orders regarding the electronic surveillance. What court orders? What court orders? What court orders? So they admitted that they knew that it was happening. The new lawyer know that it's happening. How would the new lawyer know that that's happening? This is a new lawyer since roughly the end of the conservatorship. The only way the new lawyer knows that this is happening is if someone told them. Who would have told them? Yeeted. Yeeted is the only one that would have told them. How else would you know? I mean, in theory, the old lawyers could have told them. That's fair. Am I talking to myself? Sort of. The old lawyers could have told them. Either somebody from Holland and Knight told them or Yeeted told them. Court orders regarding the electronic surveillance. What the fuck? What does the judge know? And is that why the judge is granting these motions? Is that why the judge is granting the order for the deposition? Because the judge knows too. Ooh, bitch. We're going to read this again. At one point, pleading with the judge to allow his team to depose the pop star, Weingarten said that unfortunately there are documents under seal and court orders regarding the electronic surveillance. Y'all know. How many people are a party to this illegal bullshit? And where does it stop? And where are the racketeering charges? Quote, based on what I know, he said, I suspect that Miss Spears will be a treasure trove of information. She was the conservatee. I bet you would like her to be a treasure trove of information. At this point in my mind, I'm like, what am I doing on July 27th? Because I feel like I should probably just be in LA. I mean, Jen Shaw did us all a favor and pled guilty. So the end of my July kind of freed up. I want to see what happens next. Weingarten said that if the judge decides the singer does not have to sit for a deposition, her father will not have his fair day in court. Why? Why? Why would he not have his fair day in court? Why not? The attorney said he is being held to a different standard than other parties in the case based on unproven allegations. You just said there's court orders regarding the electronic surveillance. Don't you dare. Y'all are like, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yes. I mean, make that happen. I suspect that Miss Spears will be a treasure trove of information. I'm sure you would like to know, but she was the conservatee. Oh, Weingarten got spicy. I appreciate that it's en vogue to trash Jamie Spears, Weingarten told the judge, but he has rights. In this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. He has First Amendment rights, Your Honor. He has rights. He does. He does have rights, but he was the conservator. So there's no innocent till proven guilty. You have to turn over discovery regarding what you did as the conservator. The conservator does not have the same rights. There are responsibilities that come with a fiduciary duty. But this argument is so like, I guess I don't have any First Amendment rights. Stop it. Megan understands the assignment. Where were his daughter's rights when he was illegally surveilling her? Where were Britney's rights when she was put into a fucking conservatorship without a medical declaration? Jillian over on Facebook said, pretty sure the only innocent one is Britney. Yup. Panhexual says it's giving Amber Heard. Isn't it though? Isn't it just? My level of annoyance is exacerbating how red my face is. Y'all should have seen me when I played water polo in college. Like the amount of red. I would get out of a pool red as a beet. Red as a beet. All right. You do not put a victim back in front of the victimizer. It makes me want to sing Womanizer, and it's completely inappropriate at this moment, but that's what's happening in my brain, and I'm fighting it deeply. It's the wrong thing to do, Rosengart shot back. That would be wrong, whether my client was Britney Spears or Jane Doe. The mere deposition itself is harassment. Because James would be sitting there across from her telling his lawyer what to ask. They would have to sit in a room across from each other. But Yeeted is trying to put this on everyone else. Rosengart has been fighting against Jamie Spears and the singer's former businessman or TriStar Sports and Entertainment ever since he was retained by Spears in the summer of 2021. He has accused the company of stonewalling his attempts to obtain information for his client, refusing to cooperate and avoiding deposition. It seems that they've been doing those things based on court filings. Spears' legal team said they have been requesting to depose the elder Spears for 9 months and claim he has evaded those requests. At Wednesday's hearing, Judge Penny moved in favor of the star, agreeing that her father has failed to appear for deposition because he legitimately has. Earlier this month, in bombshell court documents, Rosengart claimed that his client's father and TriStar were in cahoots to create the conservatorship and reap the benefits by taking millions of the superstar's hard-earned money rather than to looking out for her best interest, which they deny. There were emails. I'm hoping that we get there tonight. TriStar and its founder, Lou Taylor, served as the superstar's business managers from 2008 to 2020, and the company was hired by Spears' father around the time he placed her under conservatorship, a time wherein he owed them money. But isn't it a conflict of interest as a conservator of a state to hire someone which you are indebted to, because then it's unclear whose rights you have in mind? Yeah, it is. Rosengart claimed that TriStar was directly involved in creating the conservatorship and received at least $18 million throughout it. What? Rosengart says that Lou M. Taylor and TriStar has received $18 million throughout the conservatorship. What I will say is they were taking the arguendo. Don't yell at me. They were taking a percentage of all of the tours and everything as the business manager, which business managers are allowed to do. But the person negotiating those benefits and approving them was James Spears, who was also putting in a cut for himself. This is why the Kardashians pay their mother. You just keep it all in the family. So business managers are entitled to a cut, and depending on how much Britney earned in that time, it's not as wild as some of the misappropriation. RK is redoing the lyrics to Womanizer to victimizer. Lawyers for TriStar denied these claims, stating, as all evidence makes abundantly clear, the conservatorship was set up on the recommendation of legal counsel, not TriStar. We'll take a look at the emails. And approved by the court for more than 12 years. Here's some shocking news. Just because the court approved it doesn't mean it's right. Spears' father and TriStar have denied claims of improper behavior despite having been subject of damning accusations. While the surveillance allegations have largely focused on Spears' father and Black Box, the security team, TriStar has been at the center of extensive claims of financial mismanagement. Also, Variety, thank you for just laying it out. Just laying it out. We appreciate you. A report in the New York Times alleged that the star was under surveillance from a security team hired by her father, and TriStar was involved in monitoring the singer's phone. At the time, a lawyer for TriStar told the Times, quote, "These allegations are not true." Earlier this month, Weingarten filed a sworn declaration from Yeeted Spears. We've got it. We can look at it tonight. Denying having any awareness of his adult daughter's private bedroom being bugged or authorizing surveillance of the pop star. I am informed of the allegation by Britney's counsel, well, in the New York Times, that a listening device or a bug was placed her bedroom as surveillance during the conservatorship. The declaration said this allegation is false. But what about her phone? Weingarten did not speak to members of the media after the hearing on Wednesday, but outside the courthouse, Rosengart told reporters that his client wants to simply move on. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. Mr. Spears, if he loves his daughter, well, he said daddy loves you in like a fucking 1,000 filings. That was hyperbole. It wasn't 1,000 filings. But daddy loves you came out of Viv's, not Vivian Kensington, Vivian from Holland and Knight, came out of Vivian's mouth so much Britney's daddy loves her. Blech. Mr. Spears, if he loves his daughter, as he professes he does, should leave Britney. Damn it. Should leave her alone. Leave Britney alone. Rosengart told reporters, including Variety, he should get on with his life instead of continuing to litigate against his daughter. His daughter is finally free. His daughter is married. His daughter is happy. His daughter wants to move on, Rosengart says. Mr. Spears, if he loves his daughter, as he professes he does, should leave her alone. Should we see what Rosengart has to say? I think we should. Hold on. I wasn't prepared for... Should I always just be prepared for audio? Yes. Yes, I should. Yes, I should. You guys in the chat are like, Daddy loves her money. Mm-hmm. 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 Let's see. We gotta put the ear thingies on because I actually do want to hear what Rosengart has to say. Ear thing number 1. Ear thing number 2. Ugh. All right, we're ear thinged up. And now we can undo that and see what Elizabeth Wagmeister has to say over on the Twitters. Oh, the way it's so tempting to hit your messages when you see it, and then you remember you're actually live streaming. Britney presents a new a cappella version of Baby One More Time. Happy Friday indeed. We're going to have to do that in a minute. We're just having ourselves a moment. Why am I not following Elizabeth? I am. I thought I was. Where is James Spears? That's not James Spears. That is Tom Brady. All right. Or not James Spears. Matthew Rosengart. Hold on. I don't hear this either. Hold on. I got to reroute my speakers. I had Zoom calls today, y'all, and I always have to change. Changing settings is like the bane of my fucking existence.
This is somebody who...
All right. Hopefully y'all can hear. There's background noise. Why? Because this courthouse is fucking loud. By the way, this is not near the entrance that Amber Heard came out of. This is near a different entrance. So this entrance goes back out that way to a courtyard. There's a little Starbucks over there. All right. What else? All right. For all of you not familiar, this is Rosengart, Britney Spears' attorney, right after the court hearing that we're talking about.
This is somebody who ran a conservatorship for 13 years. He profited by about $6.3 million.
Oh, there's new information that he profited. I need to take notes. Hold on. Profited by 6.3. That's interesting. We hadn't had that information before about exactly how much he profited. As the conservator, by the way, not supposed to profit.
About $6.3 million. In other words, he used the conservatorship in part
to enrich himself.
His daughter is finally free. His daughter is married. His daughter is happy. His daughter wants to move on. Whether or not he is sued or not will be up to one person, Britney Spears. In the meantime, Mr. Spears, if he loves his daughter, as he professes he does, should leave her alone. He should get on with his life instead of continuing to litigate against his own daughter. Thanks very much.
All right, let's see what the other clip is. That's a, let me grab my box of docs and get going.
The court, as you all heard.
Oh my God, it's such a busy street where he's standing.
Today was a very good day in court for Britney Spears, and it was a very good day for justice generally. The court, as you all heard, granted our motion to compel the attendance of Jamie Spears at his deposition. Over the other side's objection, the court also granted our application to have that deposition occur in Los Angeles. Mr. Spears, as the court determined, has now effectively been hiding from his deposition for no less than 9 months. The day of reckoning for Mr. Spears has come, at least at this stage, in terms of the court ordering him to appear for his deposition. The
Sorry
court
about
has
the noise.
also ordered
That's
him
just
to produce all of the documents.
Produce all of the document asked for.
All of the documents that we've requested.
That's a big
which
deal.
He has also failed to do. We've seen nothing but obstruction and stonewalling from him. Finally, in addition to all of the legal reasons why Britney was correct as the judge ruled.
All right, and that's where the second video comes in. I mean, get it, Rosengart. They had a huge, you can't underestimate the huge win in court that they had. That's a huge win. And before I get back into the rest of the article we were looking at, Britney Spears is sharing a version of her hit Baby One More Time. Where? Instagram? Oh, good. All right, let's go to Instagram. Hold on. I now want to see this. Oh, damn it. We're going to have to do it very, very quickly before Facebook gets too sassy with me because, again, it's music. Let's see. Oh, Facebook won't let me pull it up. Or Instagram won't let me pull it up. Let's see if Variety will let me pull it up. Literally just a moment, but it's on Britney Spears' Instagram. Darn it. Oh, there we go.
Baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? Oh, baby, I shouldn't have let you go.
All right, y'all. Britney Spears' Instagram's popping off with some more Baby One More Time. Would I listen to the whole thing? Yes. Will YouTube yeet my stream out of existence? Also, yes. So that is why we're not doing that, but that is over on Britney's Insta. If you want to see her singing Britney Baby One More Time a cappella, I wish I could play the rest of it. I cannot because the yeet is the yeet is real. All right, let's finish up this. Let's finish up. Well, no, that's the end of the article. So let's go to some of the rulings because there were more rulings that happened. So let us go to the rulings that happened. So this is the most, oh, wait, where'd it go? Sinola 0809 said, I love that she's using her real voice, the deep one, and not the forced baby voice. Me too. Me too. Because live it, girl. All right, let's go to some of these rulings from the court. And then we're going to go to questions. There is so much. You guys are like, read what she wrote. Hold on. All right, I'll read what she wrote. Darn it. I've already yeeted myself off of IG. Give me one sec. I was ready to move on. Okay. That we can do. This is Britney loves an emoji. This is me yesterday doing laundry and separating clothes. I haven't shared my voice in an extremely long time. True. Maybe too long. Also true. And here's me playing at my house with a different version of Baby. The words, as in the words. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, because I need to know. Give me a fucking sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Well, I have asked for what I have wanted for 14 years, a different version of Baby, but have the producers actually work for me and put it together, a start. But as the team said no and serves me with 4 girls, my sister included, doing a 5-minute version of 4 remix songs to a T, not even having to give effort or dance, just shot it beautifully and the sound was new. They ruined it for me. Ooh, embarrassed me and made me feel like absolutely nothing. Well, we know that the awards show she's referring to. The truth is a fucking bitch. I share this because I am aware of my love and passion to sing, and my own family made a fool of me. I am not going to be a victim. Hit me, baby, one more time. Psst. I'm sure your advanced musicians think it's horrible or bad. I'm sure you advanced musicians think it's horrible or bad. Well, when I'm bad, I'm better. Psst. I love that. Psst. That's how I'm reading it. Psst. You say, go do it now after 14 years of asking and telling. I worked my ass off. Then I was locked up in one place. It's too late. Like I said, they've ruined it for me. I thought it was ask and you shall receive, but all I knew was no, ma'am, sorry. They stood at my door and told me I can't have my keys to my car and told me I couldn't leave on my own. Sorry, ma'am. Well, that's probably her security she's referring to. We have to follow the rules. They made me feel like nothing, every single one of them. Like I said, they took away my rights. My womanhood was ruined. Well, reclaim it, Britney. Get it. Get it, get it, get it. Get it. Get it. All right, let's go to what the court said in all 7 of these orders. We're just going to go one at a time. Let's see. And then we'll get to questions. And I'll get to the email. I'll see if I can get to the emails real quick if we have time. All right. Let's see. Because stuff is so much got pushed over to the 27th. So much got pushed over to the 27th. All right. I just titled this one number 1, July 13th. So this was the last court hearing, 1:30. Here's who was present. The following parties are present: Rosengart, Lisa McCurdy, Alex M. Weingarten, Emily Horak. I haven't seen that name before. I would remember because Emily. Yasha Bronstein, Gerald S. Cohen, Eric Alder, and Scott Edelman, attorney via LA Court Connect. The matter is called for hearing. The court recites its oral tentative on the record. This date argument is heard. The court adopts the tentative rule as follow. The motion to compel production of documents requested in notice depositions filed on May 31st, 2022 by Britney Jean Spears is granted. Documents, all. The court finds that Ms. Spears has timely served 3 procedurally proper notice of depositions and failed that Mr. Spears was timely served with 3 procedurally proper notice of deposition and failed to appear at any of the scheduled depositions or produce the documents responsive to the document requests. In addition, you needed to go and you did not. Upon review of the underlying motion and opposition file, the court finds that neither Ms. Spears nor Yeated Spears opposes the deposition of Yeated Spears or the production of documents responsive to the document request. Yeated Spears is ordered to produce all documents and communications relating to the electronic surveillance, all, of Britney Spears at his deposition, which is to take place by August 12th, 2022, without objection. Accordingly, the court grants the motion. Matthew Rosengart is ordered to prepare the order after hearing. So he's got to write up the order. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Order number 2. Order number 2. Proceeding, motion to compel filed June 16th, 2022 by James Spears. This is the motion to compel discovery of Britney. The matter is called for hearing. Oral tentative on the record. Arguments heard. Court adopts its tentative and follows. The motion compel further responses and requests for production to Britney Spears filed on June 16th by James Spears is denied. That's not what's really put up in any of the reporting we've seen, but James's motion to compel Britney to answer shit was denied. The court finds that Yeated has not met his burden of proof demonstrating that good cause exists for discovery requests. No. While Mr. Spears is entitled to conduct discovery in this proceeding and may file a motion to compel further discovery responses, he must first meet the burden of proof by demonstrating good cause exists. Prove why. Why? Why do you need it? What is the good cause? None. Because as I said before, she was in a conservatorship. There is no good cause. The spirit does not compel her. So, Yeated's motion to compel responses by Britney has been denied. Good. Order number 3. Motion to compel filed on June 16th, 2022 by James P. Spears. The court finds that the present motion to compel is premature. Don't bring this shit to me now. The court continues the matter to meet with the motion to quash listed below. The motion to compel compliance with deposition subpoena for production of business records by third-party Kroll and Associates filed by James Spears is continued to Wednesday, July 27th. We'll take up the Kroll and Associates issue later because the court's already going to hear a motion to quash. The motion to quash is to deny the subpoena. So these will be decided at the same time, which makes sense. The motion to quash hasn't been ruled on yet. You can't compel something if the court is still pending the motion to quash. Which makes perfect sense. Not yet. All right. Motion to compel filed June 16th by James P. Spears. The matter's called for hearing. The court finds the motion to compel is premature. The other one, quash. This is for depositions for production of business records. So they want to depose Kroll, they want business records, they want answers. So there's 3 separate pieces to this, and 3 separate pieces of this are going to be denied. Motion to compel the deposition of Britney Jean Spears filed June 16th. The following attorneys are present. The court recites the oral tentative on the record. The court orders additional briefing to be served by July 22nd, so we've got a lot to do. We will start getting more documents, and I will be covering those. The court continues the matter for the date below. So this motion to compel the deposition of Britney will be heard on July 27th. So that is going to be a busy day in court. Wait, we've already done this one. Hold on. Now I've got to find where I was. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I think we got that one. 1, 2, 3. We did this one. We haven't done this one. All right. There's too many of them. This is number 7. Have we done them all? No, they're out of order a little bit. Wait, here's number 6. All right. So number 6 is similar to the last one, which is the motion to compel further responses by Britney has been continued to the 27th. So all the stuff with regard to Britney has gotten put over till the 27th, which makes the 27th a very interesting court hearing. Let's see. The matter is called for hearing. The court recites its oral tentative. This is the motion to compel filed by Britney. Motion to compel deposition of James P. Spears is granted. And then this goes through it again. This is not the documents. The next one was the documents, or the last one was the documents. This one is not the documents. This one is the sit-down deposition being questioned under oath. So the last one was compelling the documents. This one is compelling him to sit for deposition. That's why they're different and why they're both important. They're 2 separate things. The court finds Mr. Spears is timely served with a procedurally proper notice of deposition, failed to appear at least one of the scheduled depositions. Further, the court finds that neither party opposes it. Mr. Spears has filed a separate motion to compel Britney Spears. To the extent that Mr. Spears assets that the court should, or I think that means asserts. I think there's a typo. Happens. To the extent that Mr. Spears asserts that the court should order Ms. Spears to appear for deposition, the court shall not address this argument in a ruling. In this ruling, as Mr. Spears has filed a separate motion to compel Ms. Spears to attend a deposition, Mr. Spears is ordered to appear for a deposition by August 12th, 2022 in Los Angeles, California. Accordingly, the motion is granted. So Dad Spears lost a number of his motions. Some were put over. And he was ordered to sit for a deposition and answer questions. And he is ordered to produce the documents that they are asking for with regard to the surveillance. Those are big things. Here's what James Spears is forgetting. Each time he makes motions like this, it gives Rosengart more runway to keep saying shit, to put in the emails with TriStar into the court record, and on and on and on. It's exactly what Johnny Depp's team is doing. They're like, you want to file motions? Good. We're going to mention it all. We're going to mention it all now. You brought it up, and now we're going to mention it all. And that's what's happening. So they are, in fact, mentioning it all. James Spears wants to depose Britney. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm trying to look and see if I want to pull up the last one. And you know what? Let's just go. I'm going to go with Variety reporting. I have these all. If we need to pull it up again, I will. But we're just going to go with the Variety article real quick to talk about what was put into the other court documents that we have not yet covered, because we were in the middle of trial. We're in the middle of trial. So this is from, let's see. This is from July 2nd. Despite denying any involvement with Britney Spears' conservatorship, the pop star's former business manager, TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, was directly involved in creating the legal arrangement, according to new court documents filed by Spears' attorney. That's Britney's attorney. The filing claims TriStar received at least $18 million from the conservatorship. TriStar and its founder, Lou M. Taylor, served as the Superstars business managers from 2008 to 2020. The company was hired by the singer's father, Jamie Spears. We know that. Previously, TriStar has said it had no involvement in the Spears conservatorship. Well, no involvement in creating the Spears conservatorship. But now a new court filing from Spears' lawyer, Rosengart, says that TriStar and its employees, Taylor and Robin Greenhill, were intimately involved in facilitating the conservatorship. The legal documents reference emails allegedly sent by Taylor regarding the conservatorship. Quote, TriStar, Lou Taylor, and Robin Greenhill have all denied that TriStar was involved in the creation of the conservatorship, Rosengart's filing states, referencing a sworn declaration from Greenhill that said, quote, at the time the conservatorship was established by the court in early 2008, TriStar had no role in Miss Spears' affairs. Well, here's the thing about that statement, though. That statement's technically true. They weren't involved in Britney's affairs. They were seemingly involved, based on court filings, in starting the conservatorship. But when the conservatorship started, they were not involved with Britney at that time, not until the conservatorship was started. They were involved with James Yeated Spears getting it started. The filing also references media interviews where TriStar denied their involvement in the conservatorship. Quote, these denials by TriStar and its representatives are false, Rosengart writes. He also states TriStar received $18 million from the conservatorship it helped create. Scott Edelman, attorney for TriStar, offered a response to the claims Saturday morning. Quote, this is materially misleading. As all the evidence makes abundantly clear, the conservatorship was set up on recommendation of legal counsel, not TriStar, and approved by the court for more than 12 years. In fact, TriStar was not even the business manager for the conservatorship when it was established. Cherry-picked excerpts from emails cannot change the facts, which is why this nonsense will all end once and for all when the records are unsealed. Mention it all. The conservatorship's over. The conservatorship's over. Let's unseal it all. Let's unseal it all. I mean, except for the stuff that's like medically relevant and private to Britney, let's not do that. But the other stuff. Rosengart has publicly pledged to fully investigate TriStar and everyone else. His firm brought on PI firm Kroll to conduct an investigation of the company's conduct in addition to her father's. In a new filing, emails obtained by Kroll show communications that were allegedly sent between Taylor, Spears' father, and his lawyer, Gerald M. Weil. The emails indicate that Weil was in communication with Taylor prior to the conservatorship being put in place. Andrew Wallet and TriStar will serve as co's with you, Taylor allegedly wrote in an email to Spears' father on January 17, 2008. Stating that she had spoken to Weil with her co-counsel, Weil the attorney. I look forward to working with you, Taylor wrote to Weil. On January 30th, 2008, Weil allegedly wrote an email to Taylor which stated, we have run into a problem with the judge selection. Judge selection? Selection? Judge selection? That's not good. No, different Edelman. Jay Edelson is not Edelman. Very close, but two different people. Two different lawyers. A problem with the judge selection. The only judge who will be able to hear our case on Friday is the one drug who will not give Jamie the power to administer psychotropic drugs. We can't do this on Friday. That judge won't allow us to issue psychotropic drugs to Britney Spears. We just need to wait for a different drug. You generally can't select a judge, but if you know how, you generally can't select a judge. But if you know how the process works, and if you know that these filings are going to go to these courtrooms, there's generally a sorting process. So if you know which filings are going to which courtroom, you can courtroom shop. Which is kind of damning in these emails that they're alleging to be actual. We'll pull up the emails in this motion so we can see them. The only judge who will be able to hear our case on Friday is the one drug who will not give Jamie the power to administer psychotropic drugs to Britney Spears. That's Wiles' email, the attorney. That's the attorney saying that. Emails referenced in the filing appear to indicate that Taylor wanted to be a co-conservator. In an alleged email from February 2008, Taylor wrote, "I am the right person for this. I have fought for Jamie for 3 years, prayed and fasted with him every week, and life has changed drastically because of this determination," Taylor allegedly wrote in an email from 2008. Variety has reached out to James Harder, the attorney for TriStar, who commented on Rosengard's filing, and to verify the authenticity of the emails referenced that were allegedly sent by his client. Rosengard has been fighting against TriStar ever since he was retained by Spears as her attorney in the summer of 2021. He accused the company of stonewalling his attempts to obtain information for his client. In a new filing, Rosengard states the reason TriStar is failing to cooperate is because they were directly involved with the creation of the conservatorship, despite saying otherwise. Spears' father and TriStar have been the subject of damning accusations from the singer, who has said that they were abusive towards her and financially benefited off of her during the conservatorship. Well, she didn't get to pick her business manager, her dad did. A report in the New York Times alleged the star was under surveillance from a security team hired by her father and that TriStar was involved in monitoring the singer's phone. At the time, the lawyer for TriStar told the Times these allegations are not true. Just this past week, an attorney for Spears' father, Weingarten, filed a sworn declaration denying having any awareness of the bugging. And this gets into the rest of the stuff we just talked about. And this is a quote from Rosengard. Now in this new filing, Rosengard states, through its role in Spears' conservatorship, TriStar not only benefited at least $18 million from Spears' estate, but also built its company on the back of Britney Spears, now representing stars ranging from the Kardashian family to Travis Scott. Well, that's all kind of interconnected. TriStar has a very large, TriStar again, the state of Tennessee's flag. TriStar started here in Tennessee. Lou M. Taylor lived here in Tennessee. The state of Tennessee's flag has the TriStar in it, not the Death Star, but it is, as far as flags go, it's fairly cute. But 3 stars for the 3 different parts of Tennessee, to my understanding, as a non-native to Tennessee, the East Tennessee, Central Tennessee, or Middle Tennessee, and West Tennessee. So TriStar is not uncommon. A lot of shit in Tennessee is named TriStar. It's not uncommon to name, TriStar everything. TriStar started in Tennessee. They have a very large building near Music Row. So let's finish up with this reporting from Variety, because it helped us shortcut me reading hundreds of pages of documents. Hundreds of pages of documents. So with that, it's interesting that TriStar is now repping stars ranging from the Kardashian family to Travis Scott. Interesting stuff. Despite its integral role at the time the conservatorship was established, despite reaping at least $18 million from Britney Spears while she was a conservatee, and despite building its brand on Miss Spears' name and incredible talent and hard work, when TriStar's counsel was informally asked by the undersigned counsel in late 2021 for basic information concerning the conservatorship, TriStar, like Yeeted, chose to stonewall and obfuscate. I can never obfuscate and fuck around. They're yet to find out. Stonewall and fuck around. They will find out. Thank you, Tennesseans, for verifying what I've been told about the TriStar. But everything's fucking named TriStar. So people are like, there was a time in this case when people were looking at this case being like, are these things all connected to Lou Taylor? No. Everything's named TriStar, from TriStar Medical to like TriStar Towing to everything. It's like in Southern California, half of every business is named Southern California this or Southern California that. I'm surprised the Kardashians are still working with TriStar, by the way. I'm surprised, but I'm truly surprised by that. Even though their mom's their manager, I wonder what role TriStar plays with them, because Chris is their kind of momager. I wonder if those are their agents, because I don't think Chris is actually licensed talent agent. I think she's just their manager, but that's a conversation for a different day. More than 7 months after the pop star's conservatorship was terminated, her legal battle persists. Aside from this new filing pertaining to TriStar, Rosengart also continues to fight against her father. Let's see what else is set for hearing on the 27th. I meant to pull that up. Oh, we've got a minute. We've only been live for not even 2 hours yet. Let me pull that up real quick. We're going to look at the other things that are set if we can find them quickly. There's so many cases I need to catch up on, though. We need to catch up on the H3 case and see what's going on. It's just so crazy. All of this is just so crazy. So there are a lot. Let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 separate petitions set for the 17th. They're probably not going to get to all of them, though. So let me look at the notes and see if I can see what wasn't cleared yet while we're doing this. So now you guys are like, is this a research with me stream? No, we don't do those, but yes. Because they keep kicking over the freaking 12th accounting. And so we don't know what's going on with the 12th accounting because it hasn't been settled yet. Emily, have you memorized the Britney Spears case number just like your bestie's phone number from back in the day? Yes. Yes, I have. It's the only one of all of the cases I look at. The only case number that I have memorized is Britney's. It's the only one. The rest of them, nope. But this one. Okay, let's take a look real quick at what the probate notes have to say and see if we can see what's coming up on the 27th. Oh, because we didn't pull up chat. Don't let me forget to talk about Yeeted still asking for money. Okay. Let's see. These are prior orders to continue to 720 recently filed matters to review, including probate notes. Petitioner is interested party, mother of conservatee. This is regarding Lynn Spears' payment of attorney's fees. I thought this was already denied, but it is still here. Petitioner alleges court should rely on the rules of equity. Objections are filed. That's a matter to clear. Interesting. So that's Lynn Spears's. That's all the notes left. All right, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research. The other stuff on the 27th is going to be the 12th accounting has still been bumped. I'm gonna have to go back through all the minute orders and make my own notes on it, which I have just not yet had time to do. Okay, there is this one other thing by James Spears, and then we are going to go to questions, I swear. Then we are going to go to questions. Filed July 12th, James P. Spears, former co-conservator, he did. Petition for order confirming, authorizing, and instructing payment on the accounts of James P. Spears' attorney's fees from the estate of Britney Jean Spears. July 27th at 1:30. This is why I want to be there on the 27th. I think I need to just try to make that happen. This is just the attached service list. So they are trying to put the order confirming, authorizing, and instructing payout on James Spears' attorney's fees from the estate of Britney Spears. These are the new attorney's fees. I don't think he's entitled to the new attorney's fees. I don't think he's going to get them. But they're still fighting over the old attorney's fees. All right, let's see. There's a few other rulings. All right, let's go through these other rulings because I think it's important. And I realized that I had gotten through all of the rulings. Mario, they're in one of Rosengart's motions that we haven't pulled up yet. That's where the emails are. So let's see. All right. This is 7/7/2022. This is confirming rulings from June 21st. Let's see. No appearances. Out of the presence of the court reporter, the court makes the following findings and orders. Pursuant to the stipulation of the parties, the motion to quash the deposition subpoenas or in the alternative for a protective order filed by TriStar and Robin Greenhill on November 5th, 2021, is advanced on this date and continued to Wednesday, July 27th. So the motion to quash or order a protective order over subpoenaing Robin Greenhill and TriStar has also been moved to the 27th. Let's see what else has been moved. There's like 4 more of these. Where did it go? Come back. All right, let's see. And this is just, these are the attorneys that had to take the court's rulings and then make them into formal orders. Notice of ruling on hearing on June 21st. So now we're just finding out together what is being yeeted over to the 27th. The motion to quash the deposition subpoena or in the alternative file protective order, same, has been moved to the 27th. Okay, great. There are so many of these. The way that the court system populates these documents is so terribly backwards. So this is 3 versions of essentially the same order. Let's see where that last Rosengart motion is. I think the last Rosengart motion is in my last group. So we will find the emails and I will pull them up. Let's see if they're back here. And I will pull them up. Those are all James Spears's motions. So where is my last Rosengart motion? I think it's this one. All right. Let's see. It's look, always put your motions into Google Drive to see what happens before you file it with the court. You need to clear your Google Notes before you file your electronic documents. Do you guys want to go through the emails a little bit? Like it's been less than 2 hours. I think we can do it, right? I say that we do it. Let's just do it. Yeah, let's do it. Obfuscate. I'm still going to get it wrong, Crone Life. Fuck around. We're going to just replace it with fuck around and find out. I'm waiting for the find out part. Let's just do this. Let's just do this a little bit. Let's go through some emails. Here's what I loved about white collar crime. So as a DA, people were like, what do you mean you love white collar crime? I'm like, I'm down for all of the paper cases. I loved covering paper cases. Why? I'm nosy. I am nosy. I want the chisme. I want to know the business. I want to know what people are up to. And you know what you get in paper cases? Bank records, emails, all of people's business. So if I have a job where I get to see literally all of people's business, it's my job. I'm nosy. I've always been nosy. Emily, can I tell you? Yes. Will I repeat it? Generally not. Tell me. I want to know all the things. I want to know all of the information. I want to know the info. I loved paper cases. We had this one case. Dude was running a pretty clever money laundering scheme through PayPal. And we were going through bank records, as one does. His girlfriend, who was a TV personality, we believed, and it later proved to be true, had a number of the devices that we needed, iPads, phones, and had gotten them before he had gotten arrested and all of his shit had gotten taken, so they had them. We're going through we didn't have enough for a search warrant. This was a suspicion. A mere suspicion is not going to get us there. We did not have enough for a search warrant of the girlfriend. So in trying to find enough for the girlfriend, we're going through like bank records and emails to see if we can find like, did you pay for it and have a name on it or some shit? And what we found was that while dude was in custody, girl was still paying for Match.com through his accounts. So the detective, as detectives do, went in and dropped that little bit of knowledge onto the defendant in custody. Here's what defendants forget when they're angry. All of your jail calls are recorded. The jail tells you this every single time. It says, this call is being recorded. Everyone thinks no one's listening. No, we're listening. People are listening. Someone is listening. You'd be surprised. People are listening. We hear you. Even if it might not be important to your case, we've still heard it. So when you are talking to your main chick and your side chick and then your other side chick, and you think we're not going to let your main chick know in court who else you've been talking to, you'd be wrong. Those conversations are going to happen. It's like, I don't know why you're protecting him. Who's so-and-so? Do you know he's also talking to so-and-so? He's talking to who? Uh-huh. Sure is. Heard the phone calls. Sure did. She's putting money on his books. I'll tell you all the things. I'll tell you all the things. So she's paying for Match.com out of his account that we were taking a look at. Oh, two side chicks is minimal. People are chatting with all the people. All the people. So we let him know. The detective lets him know. Kind of drops that information. It's like, oh, it's so weird. Who would be paying for Match.com? So strange. And then we just waited till they got back onto the phone to see what happened. Look, detectives will absolutely drop nuggets they're like the producers for Bravo. You want the ladies to get into it? You're going to tell one of them, did you hear so-and-so said this in their confessional? Uh-huh. They're going to stir the pot of all of the shit like a housewife. Why? Because then we get to hear the fallout. And in the fallout is where you get all of the information of, I trusted you. I can't believe you're seeing people behind my back. I've trusted you with this. I've trusted you with that. I've trusted you with this. Oh, thank you. That is going to go right into a search warrant so we can get to all of the things. So very much appreciated. So if you think that the police are not trying to play three-dimensional chess with your jail calls, you would be wrong. Do not. Even if you're trying to use clever words about things, do not call your mom and say, Mom, I need you to go to so-and-so's house to pick up the thing. You know, the thing in the sock? It's under so-and-so's bed in a backpack, blue backpack, blah, 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 blah. I don't care what you call it. If the police are looking for a gun, they're going to know that's what you're referring to. But often it is those involved in relations that are being told to do all the things. Very interesting. And then that's not including all of the sometimes very interesting adult behavior. That is stuff you just don't need on jail calls. Look, we hear that too. We know what you're into. We know what you've been asking for. We had to listen to all of it. Thanks so much for that. We also know what you think of us. Yes, I know exactly what you think of me and my voice and the size of my ass and my annoying face. I know. I heard all of it. Question, can jailhouse calls be public record? Generally not. Generally not. They come into, they are more an investigative tool. So they're generally an investigative tool. Anyway. As an insurance agent, I get and have the tea. Exactly. You know all the things. You know all the things. Oh, it gets so messy. It gets so messy. And there's times it's just sad where you just feel so bad for people's mess of mess. But anyways, we should go. Let's continue. Let's go into the emails. So at the end of the day is I'm nosy and criminal prosecutors get to know all of the things. And that's part of being a criminal prosecutor. You get to know all of the things. Don't think any of your shit's private. It generally won't be. All right, let's move on. This is from July 6th. We're not super far behind. What's today? The 15th? We're not that far behind. We're not that far behind. Molly, not legal advice, but just life advice. Just life advice. And generally that would be green lighting someone. Don't green light people from custody. And generally the people that are good at doing that don't use the phones to do it anyway, but that's more information than we all probably need this evening. So we will keep the rest of that to myself. Britney Jean Spears' reply in support of motion to compel deposition of James P. Spears and motion to compel production of documents requested in notice of deposition. That's a very long title. A reply. Oh, tell me more, tell me more. A reply to James Spears' opposition is scarcely warranted, except to underscore that what he has regrettably become... nope. Except to underscore, I'm butchering your brilliant writing. Look. Rosengart, I'm sorry. We got to the end of the wine before we got to your motion. And so if I butcher the language, it's not your writing. At this point, it's me. It's just know that it's me. That's not the case when it's Elaine. When it's Elaine, it's her. It's the writing. I can't drink on Elaine streams because I can't get through her motions if I am. I trust Rosengart to not do me dirty in all of this. A reply to James Spears' opposition is scarcely warranted, except to underscore what has regrettably become abundantly clear. James Spears is at what? No, that's not what it says. James Spears and his counsel do not care about the facts, the law, or the truth. Ooh, scorching. To the contrary, their goal is to harass, intimidate, and upset Britney Spears. Leave Britney alone. Leave Britney alone. The chat demands it. The law nerds decree it. Leave Britney alone. Indeed, the record shows that this is their cruel strategy. Almost immediately after he was yeeted as conservator, after paying more than $30 million in fees or commissions to various firms from Ms. Spears' estate, more than $18 million to TriStar, and at least $6 million to himself, Yeated decided to hire another law firm and immediately commence litigation against his daughter in the form of meritless petition for more legal fees from her. That is how this all started. Pink Fuzzy Cow. Can Yeated Spears be criminally charged for abusing the conservatorship? We're not there yet, but there are possibilities. He and his counsel did so in order to distract Mr. Spears from Mr. Spears' obvious misconduct and drive up legal fees for improper purposes. To support these tactics, he and his counsel have engaged in a pattern of making knowing and demonstrably false attacks on Miss Spears and her counsel. Now, perhaps even more indecently. Ooh. It's rare that we see indecent in a legal filing. In tactics unknown before the law, my learned friend needs to fuck right off. No, that's not what any of this says. Now, perhaps even more indecently, Mr. Spears Yeated claims he will file a motion to unseal documents in a supposed effort to vindicate himself. They keep mentioning that, don't they? They keep mentioning it. They keep mentioning that they are going to unseal things to show what? To embarrass Britney? Really? I don't think that's going to work. Of course, there is no document that could ever change the facts concerning Yeated's financial mismanagement, conflicts of interest, self-dealing, or other bad acts. Further, even putting aside common sense and fundamental decency, a motion to unseal would not be legally meritless, or would not only be legally meritless, it would, as a matter of law, also be legally frivolous. For its part, TriStar's own emails have exposed that, contrary to TriStar's repeated public statements that Robin Greenhill's sworn declaration in the early 2008, TriStar had no role in Miss Spears' affair and played no part whatsoever in suggesting the establishment of a conservatorship. TriStar did, in fact, have such a role and play such a part. The evidence demonstrates that in early 2008, TriStar even sought to serve as a co-conservator with James Spears. Among other things, a January 17, 2008 email reveals that Lou Taylor told Mr. Spears that TriStar will serve as co's with you. Notably, TriStar has stonewalled since October 2021, choosing to litigate an attack instead of cooperating, and it has failed to produce a single document called for under the subpoenas. Footnote 1. Kroll Associates was able to obtain unverified QuickBooks software, but TriStar has still failed to comply with the subpoenas. TriStar, turn over the books. Turn over the books. Turn over the books, TriStar. I see reference to Hogue Law in the chat. I see the game emojis. Hello, Hogue. Your displeasure with the article that I sent you gave me life. So thank you. I'm glad that I could make your head explode the way my head exploded. So thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. TriStar has still not given their client, Britney Spears, her books. Isn't that something? RK, Emily, I'm so confused. Right. How did TriStar not give their client their books? Correct. Just correct. You're correct. You're not wrong. If you're confused, it's not you. It's not. All right. We went to footnote 1. Where are we now? In any event, wait, nope. Let's see. Oh, it was too soon. It was too soon. Too soon. Question, the books belong to Britney, right? Correct. She's the client. They are a fiduciary. And now, despite being a fiduciary, keep reading, Emily. Despite obtaining more than $18 million, and despite building its business off of Britney's back rather than cooperating and resolving the matter, TriStar 2 outrageously wants to unseal Britney's private records, violating her privacy. TriStar has even tried to claim it was not Britney Spears' fiduciary. What? You're the business manager. Of course it was. That's not how a fiduciary is supposed to act. And it begs the question, does TriStar hide information and treat all its clients like Travis Scott and the Kardashians this way? Or is it just hiding information from Miss Spears? Oh, they're going for their business. That's what that is. That's like, hey, heads up. Heads up, everybody. Interesting. This is definitely not how a fiduciary is supposed to act, but it doesn't beg the question. Look, I understand wanting to drag Travis Scott and the Kardashians into it. Fine. But here's what really begs the question. Does TriStar see itself as a fiduciary to James Spears and not to Britney Spears, further doubling down on the conflict of interest and fuckery of them being hired in this conservatorship? That's what I'm wondering. Does TriStar see itself as aligned with James Spears so deeply that they don't even see Britney as their client? I mean, they definitely touted that she was their client. In any event, TriStar's cohort, Yeeted, now concedes that he has, in fact, conditioned his willingness to appear for a deposition on his daughter being deposed. Gross. As an improper quid pro quo. Everything he did was an improper quid pro quo. It was like, I'll step down if you do this, and I'll depose if you do this. It's so fucking controlling. Ugh. He offers absolutely no legitimate reason for his failure to appear. There is no such reason. Oh, he doesn't want to have to tell the truth. He doesn't want to have to tell the truth. That's why. I mean, that we know why. That's not a legitimate reason. That's just the reason. James Spears and Britney are not similarly situated. Yeeted is obligated as a fiduciary with ongoing fiduciary duties. Let us not forget that there are ongoing duties here to answer questions concerning his actions, and it's his burden to justify each and every one of the representations he has made in pleadings and elsewhere. Having been yeeted on September 29th, 2021, the conservatorship being terminated November 12th, 2021, and having infantilized his daughter for more than a decade, get it, Rosengart? They're just all of it. Hogue, the fuckery's so real. The fuckery is so real. Wait till we get to the emails. Having infantilized his daughter for more than a decade, James Spears no longer has dominion and control over his daughter. Oh, chat, tell Hogue about the fact that Britney's dad, as her conservator, I'll just tell him, Britney Spears' dad, as the conservator of her estate in person, wrote himself into her performing contracts when she was forced to go on world tours for a percentage of her tours, as if he was a manager. He also hired her managers and paid them too. But he wrote in a percentage for himself in all of her contracts. You want to talk about the self-dealing. The self-dealing The illegal self-dealing is wild. He wrote himself into the contracts. Yep. But to read his opposition is to come away with the impression that his daughter still must do whatever Yeated tells her to. The offensiveness and lack of merit of his position is manifest and is further underscored by the following. They're so done. They're so done with Rosengart. I love the way his firm writes. They don't give a fuck what James Spears or his attorneys think. There is no playing nice. There is no working together. James Spears has failed to appear for deposition after deposition. They're fucking done. And they are going to drive the bus. They are going to pave the road. They are going to yeet James Spears from the bus and then run him over with it in these motions. And none of these motions would be happening if James Spears didn't keep making motions. Oh yes, y'all. Oh yes. Hogue. James Spears wants the conservatorship to pay his lawyers for over $500,000 for media matters for dealing with publicity. There's that. To preserve his reputation. Yikes. You guys tell Hogue about the food truck. Tell Hogue about the food truck that the conservatorship seemingly bought for James Spears so he could try to run his food truck outside of her performances when she was in Vegas. James Spears has offered no justification for his refusal to appear and produce all responsive documents as required by law. We know that the court has said, fuck you, turn it over. So we're not going to go through that much. There's going to be sassy language in there, I'm sure. Much like his 4 motions to compel, some of which have already been denied, James Spears' opposition is premised on a fundamental misrepresentation of the law and the proceedings. Mr. Spears continues to repeat the big lie, not the big lie. No, let's not bring political language into these motions. My head will explode. I literally can't. Not the big lie. Not the big lie. Mr. Spears continues to repeat the big lie that Britney is litigating claims against him. Yeated himself initiated this litigation in seeking the court's approval of his actions and in seeking to have Britney pay his lawyers, even post-suspension, which he's not entitled to, and the termination of the conservatorship. It bears repeating that as it concerns Yeated Spears, there are only 3 petitions pending before this court, each initiated by Yeated. 1, James Spears' petition for approval of the 12th accounting. The 12th accounting seeks over $1.4 million in legal fees to his plethora of attorneys. 2, James Spears' petition for payment on account, by which he seeks more money from Ms. Spears to pay his lawyers, the new ones, who are hostile to her. Legally, that's legally hostile. It doesn't mean like they're calling up Britney and being mean. They are legally opposed to her. This entire conservatorship, every time Britney makes a motion in court, she has to pay the lawyers that fight against her. Every single time. And 3, an earlier petition filed by Yeated's prior counsel, also for payment of fees. Money. Oh, what if Britney just pledged it? Y'all, here's the solution. Somebody tell Rosengart, look, just tell Yeated that you're going to pledge like all of the legal fees. I hear that works. It's like legally binding and stuff. Look it up. I'm being facetious. There is no legitimate good faith basis for taking Ms. Spears' deposition on these matters. Well, we're going to see more litigation on this because the court has punted it till the 27th. James Spears' contention that Britney Spears' motion to compel was premature and filed without meet and confer efforts is manifestly false and belied by his own counsel's declaration, and yet the court granted it. So obviously this positioning is correct because the court granted the motion. James Spears' counsel falsely accuses Britney of having made no effort to meet and confer, yet attaches a sampling of the very meet and confer correspondence. They did do that. They attached all the emails where they were trying to meet and confer. Much like his false proclamations that Ms. Spears initiated this litigation, Mr. Spears' proffered excuse that Britney did not meet and confer prior to filing the motion is refuted by the record. Footnote 2. Among other things, in addition to actual extensive meet and confer efforts, yeeted by dodging no less than 3 notices of deposition and waiving the ability to object to the accompanying document request, but nevertheless still trying to object, made clear that any further meet and confer communications on top of the extensive prior ones that occurred would have been futile. I don't disagree, Rosengart. I do not. We've seen that from James Spears over and over and over again. Eventually, when it seemed like he was going to have to sit for a deposition, he said, I'll sit for a deposition and Britney sits for a deposition. That's not how that works. It's not like a 1-for-1 tradesies. It's Pokemon cards. The rest of James Spears' opposition is a hodgepodge of illogical and unsupported conspiracy theories. I thought we were just getting emails tonight. I wasn't ready. Okay, I still love Building Monuments to the Gods of Speculation. Building Monuments to the Gods of Speculation by Saltsy. A motley crew of gossips building monuments to the gods of speculation by Saltsy might be one of my favorite things in a legal pleading ever. I still think it is my favorite. But a hodgepodge of illogical and unsupported conspiracy theories is coming in a close second. So, motley crew of gossips building monuments to the gods of speculation and a hodgepodge of illogical and unsupported conspiracy theories. I'm loving this. Thank you, Rosengart. And whoever the associate is that is writing your motions deserves a raise, and we salute you. Do you need a Law Nerd mug? Email me. We'll send you merch. We love you. Putting aside his rhetoric and falsehoods, yeeted actually has no opposition at all. The court said it. The court said that there's actually no opposition, just a whole lot of word salads, but no actual opposition to sitting for the deposition. Why? Because there legally can't be. And she granted the motions. Rather, after finally conceding that he must comply, he uses his brief as an opportunity to argue in favor of Britney's deposition. Yeeted fucks around, first by arguing that the motion was submitted as media fodder, which is nonsense, especially given Yeeted Spears' records of repeatedly evading his deposition since October 2021, which necessitated the motions. He found out. He found out we still have to file motions. If you won't sit for a deposition, we have to keep filing motions. Sit for a deposition, we'll stop filing motions. And second, by arguing that the motion was filed to distract from the documents that would prove Yeeted to somehow be an innocent and upstanding citizen and fiduciary, gold star, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. But Britney's daddy loves her. It is time for Yeeted to cease the rhetoric and gamesmanship and address the issue before this court in a genuine and truthful manner so these matters can be brought to conclusion. Footnote 3. Mr. Spears opposes the request to appoint a discovery referee in this case, which Mr. Spears' counsel proposes once again for the purpose of delay. Britney opposes the request to appoint a discovery referee, which Yeeted's counsel proposes once again for purpose of delay, distraction, and driving up legal fees. The discovery disputes at issue do not rise to the level of necessitating that such disputes be refereed out to someone who will need to learn the case from the ground up, only to issue recommendations that will undoubtedly be the subject of objection from both sides and further unnecessary expense. You know why? Because James Spears is the fucking fiduciary and has to turn everything over. There is no attorney-client privilege. There is no reason why he can't turn everything over. Everything gets turned over. Why do you need a discovery referee? Give it all over. That's it. That's all. Give it all over. You have no attorney-client privilege in this. You are the conservator. Conservatee. No, conservator. Wine. Footnote. Instead, Yeeted should simply learn that this court will not abide frivolous discovery motions and oppositions of the kind he continues to file. That's a note to the judge. Your Honor, he keeps fucking around. Can you please help him find out? And he does it in a brilliant way. This court will not abide frivolous discovery. Right, Your Honor? Do the right thing, Your Honor. Hey, Your Honor. Get it. Do it. Do not allow this to happen. That's the end of the hodgepodge of conspiracy theories. Conclusion, Yeeted has now effectively admitted that Britney's motion should be granted and that he must appear for deposition and produce all responsive documents, and the court agreed. Exhibit A. Declaration of Kyle Freeney in support of Britney's memorandum. In opposition to TriStar Robin Greenhild's motion to quash. We're just going to go to the emails. These, by the way, have the Google. When I told you, lawyers, look, just put something in Google Drive and see if your notes are still attached. You've got to clear your notes before filing digital copies because your notes will still be there. Like this. Like these. Damn it. I've got to get back to my look at these. Look at the Google Notes. This is not the first legal filing we've pulled up that still had the Google Notes in it. At least these aren't corrections. Yes, there's some redactions, but it's kind of funny. They're just highlighted. Now we get to see what they thought was important. Maybe they did it on purpose. January 17th, 2021. Lawyer Lou Taylor. Ladies, now you have my contact information. Thanks, and I look forward to working with you. Lou Taylor. TriStar. Brentwood, Tennessee. Lou Taylor. I talked to the girl. This is 11/17/2008, 6:24 p.m., wherever it was received. I talked to the girls about Andrew Wallet. He and TriStar will serve as co's with you. They cannot use Howard. He is an interested party. Don't know who Howard is, but okay. This is going to Jamie Spears. Jamie P. Spears. Girls. Geraldine Wild. January 30th, going to the other lawyer, Gerald Cohen, James Spears. Restatement. Lou. We have run into a problem with our judge selection. The only judge who will be able to hear the case on Friday is the one drug who will not give Jamie the power to administer psychotropic drugs to B. The first time she is off the bench is Wednesday. That is the first safe day to be in court on this matter. If we go earlier, all of this work could well be for virtually nothing. Gross. As Jamie will be able to get her diagnosed, but not get her treated. We have discussed with Jamie, and we are in agreement that we would rather be safe than sorry. Please pray for B that we will get more info and she will suffer no further harm at the hands of Sam. That's referring to Sam Lufty. You can call me on my cell in half an hour, Jerry. Wednesday, January 30th, 2008, 8:17 p.m. from Lou Taylor to lawyers and James Spears. Ladies, tomorrow we will need to craft a paragraph statement that I can service after you file. That way there is an official statement out on behalf of Jamie. You will be bombarded, as will my office, and that statement will have to serve as the quote unquote official statement from Jamie. Should not take more than 15 minutes, but we need to have it ready. Lou Taylor. They're plotting the press statement for when the shit hits the fan and they put Britney in a conservatorship. 2/1/2008 from Lou Taylor to lawyers and James Spears. Okay, I'm absolutely fine with that. Oh, we should probably go down. From lawyers, February 1st, 2008 at 12:26. This one's at 10:35. Oh, no. Okay, we'll go the other way. Okay, I'm absolutely fine with that. I just want to make sure that I'm included in these conversations so I know what is going on. Lou Taylor, I'm not involved at the beginning of the conservatorship. Lou Taylor, I just want to make sure that I'm included in these conversations so I know what is going on. Remember that the engagement letter requires copies to come to our office of all documents to be preserved for the benefit of Jamie. Oh, whose benefit? Who's the client? Jamie? Sure. Yes, I am really excited that the opportunity on Monday opened just as Jamie and I thought something would. It was perfect. I have all the confidence in you and we'll see you soon. That's the way they're talking about this conservatorship. I'm excited about the opportunity. Lou, this is from the lawyer to all of them. I don't see Yeated's email. Oh, there it is. Lou, until the permanent order is granted, which will be no sooner than at least 4 to 6 weeks, there must be no statements from the family. Lou Taylor started making the statements. All statements should come from the attorneys. The reason why is that we need to preserve the credibility of all our witnesses, especially the family, and most of all, Lynn, as much of this case rests on her credibility. I'm so glad you got them up to the house Monday night. It is the key. We will be in touch with you as soon as anything happens. Lou Taylor, Friday, February 1st, to lawyers and James Spears after court, 9:45 a.m. Girls and gentlemen, after court, we need to caucus. I need to service the AP today with a statement from the family. Lawyer to James Spears, I spoke 2/24/2008. I spoke to Lou today. We need to talk with her to obtain the info she has, which is concerning her. Although she expressed a desire to come in if when Brian is no longer trustee, I figured that I will deal with that issue this week as our plans get more firm. I am reminded Rome was not built in a day. Best. Lawyer to James Spears, February 25th, 2008, 2:30 p.m. Jamie, please see below. I'll see if I can get a call together now. What number should I reach you at? Lou Taylor to Geraldine Wild. Topic of concern, Brian Spears. Do you want me to send this to Andrew? To lawyer. Here are some points of discussion for you. The trust has assets, but the general business matters and the other entities are where the majority of the decision-making process needs to happen. One of the decisions that Andrew Wallet, the former co-conservator, had was the trust could pay bills, and that would get us around a great deal of the court submission issues. We're getting around the court submission issues. However, when it is a business-related deductible expense, those need to be paid out of Britney Brands or Britney Touring. You will expose the trust if you pay business expenses from the trust. Any bills that need to be paid from the trust, we could prepare and submit on behalf of the conservators to Ivan. Jamie nor I want Ivan or Brian in any matter that they are not entitled to by law. That includes records. Her brother. We don't want them to know anything. Anything less than what we have to tell them. Don't expose where the money is. I have fought for Jamie for 3 years, prayed and fasted with him every week, and life has changed drastically because of this determination. I am asking that you do that now. I am the right person for this. Three years. What was she fighting with Jamie for 3 years? You know, do you all remember the interrogatories? Chat. Hi. Do you remember the request for admissions that Britney's attorney served on James Spears? Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember the questions about Lou Taylor? Chat, do you remember the request for admissions? I remember. What do you remember about the request for admissions? Put it in the chat. Let's see if there's any more of these. Oh, thank God. That was just, some of them are attached. Let's see if it's in here. Definitions and instructions, requests for productions. Let's see. Request for, where's the request for, these are productions. Where is the request for admissions? I don't see it attached. You guys are making motions for DEF CON Death Star. We're almost at questions, though. I'm trying to see if we've got the request for production. Nope. I'm looking for the request for admissions. They were trying to keep her brother out, it sounds like. Let's see. In the meantime, I am informed. Oh, this is interesting. Do not, by the way, these are lawyer emails. These are business emails. Do not email any of these people, please. Do not email. Oh, Carla remembers. Yep. If they were having a extramarital relationship together, Lou Taylor and Jamie Spears, 3 years, 3 years prior to the beginning of this conservatorship, they were connected? Really? I have so many questions. Yes. Did Edith and Lou have a close relationship? All right. I'm looking for the request for admissions. These are all requests for productions. Okay. I went back up. Let's see. Don't email anybody. That's fine. In the meantime, I am informed there is no written agreement or contract with TriStar as a business manager, although there was apparently one from early on as tour manager. If this is correct, is this correct? And if not, can you please send me the business management contract, as well as total revenues TriStar received from inception? Thanks and happy Yom Kippur, Rosengart. This is back in September 2021. No agreement? No, there's no contract? There's no contract? No contract? Really? Oh, man. Shit just keeps getting worse. Let's see. This is to lawyer. TriStar and Robin Greenhill's failure to comply with subpoenas, failure to produce financial information to Britney Spears, failure to produce emails, text messages regarding A, placing a listening device in the bedroom of Britney Spears, iCloud mirroring of phones used by Britney, and revenues received or taken from Britney. Dear Scott, we write in response to the above referenced matter, as well as your letter dated October 29th, 2021. This is the shit about practicing law that I hated, that we don't do a lot in criminal. This stuff. These emails, they use suck emails and they use suck letters. Ugh. Hate it. As an initial matter, your more than 6-week delay and your Robin Greenhill and TriStar Sports Entertainment's blatant refusal to provide our client Britney Spears with basic financial and other information is both troubling and completely unacceptable. As used herein, TriStar refers to both of your clients and recipients of the subpoena, TriStar and Robin. Specifically in response to your professional claim of cooperation by emails and letters beginning on September 15th, 2021, and running through late October, I request 2 basic pieces of information. First, I request a copy of any business management agreement. Second, I requested total revenues taken or received by TriStar. For more than 6 weeks, you and your clients have stonewalled and fucked around. It doesn't say that. For all of you just listening, every time I say fucked around, it means obfuscated, and I can't pronounce it. I try. So we've replaced the word. We've find and replaced. You've blatantly failed and refused to provide basic information. Your defense is that TriStar has no fiduciary duty. You're the business manager to provide this information, and begging the question, you resort to your mantra that the information is in the accountings. TriStar stonewalling and fucking around is not only unacceptable, it's legally untenable. This position is unknown to the law. It is undisputed that TriStar was the business manager of Britney Spears and her estate. Indeed, TriStar for many years publicly touted its business management relationship with Britney Spears and built its business based on Britney and the substantial revenues produced by Miss Spears, literally hundreds of millions of dollars. Though Miss Spears' through Miss Spears' hard and extraordinary work, footnote 2. As the 12th accounting shows, TriStar even charged the conservatorship estate for an advertisement for Lou Taylor in The Hollywood Reporter. Yuck. Steph, I try to say obfuscate, but I can't. My mouth does not work that way. It's terrible. They love this word. I've changed it to fuck around. We're just keeping it. We're just keeping it that way. To make life easier for my brain, especially after wine. I'm not even done with this wine yet. And that's where we're at. Even putting aside TriStar's fundamental legal duty to provide my client with basic financial information, and even if you stand by your meritless position that your client has no duty to provide the information, any reputable CPA or business manager would simply and willingly provide this information, and it would have done so long ago immediately upon request. This is particularly true given the bullying and abuse that my client has had to endure. Instead, TriStar is continuing the pattern of bullying, asserting flimsy, legally unsupported excuses, and its continued stonewalling. Accordingly, and so the record is clear, despite TriStar's reaping of millions of dollars from Britney's hard work, much of which TriStar and Robin Greenhill imposed on her, the hard work that is, it is evident that TriStar never even had a governing written management agreement. With regard to the financial issue, we make the request, baby, one more time. No, it just says one more time. Please provide the total fees taken by TriStar from Britney Spears and or the estate of Britney Spears from 2008 till present for the love of Christ. Notwithstanding TriStar's moral and legal obligation to provide this simple information, TriStar's ongoing failure to answer this question speaks volumes and leads to the unfortunate and inexorable conclusion that TriStar has much to hide. Ooh. Law is the career for you if you like writing letters telling people that they suck. If the moral imperatives are not enough, including the million TriStar reap from Spears and her estate, responding to the basic information is mandated under California law, given that TriStar had a fiduciary relationship with Britney Spears and her estate. Indeed, for well over a decade, TriStar exerted domination and control. I love the Britney references in here. They picked domination because of the tour. They picked One More Time because of Britney. They picked Toxic because of Britney. This firm has understood the fucking assignments, and they've got it. TriStar has exerted domination and control over Britney Spears and her estate. Specifically, TriStar was improperly heavily involved in many aspects of the conservatorship from its very outset, including medical decisions, medical expenses, and claims processing. TriStar also controlled financial decisions, investment decisions, paying bills, accounting services, money management, estate planning, tax planning, while also serving as tax preparer and CPA. Weird. Indeed, TriStar openly affirms that it provides accounting and financial services aimed at protecting its clients' well-being that include, inter alia, paying monthly bills, cash management, trust, wills and estate planning, real estate acquisition, sales and rentals, medical claims processing, and the like. See their website. All of these facts and many others overwhelmingly demonstrate that TriStar had a fiduciary duty and a position which, as a matter of law, is axiomatic. You suck, you suck. The law says you suck. I say you suck. You continue to suck. Turn everything over. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And that goes on for pages. Let's see. Let's see if there's any more emails. This letter continues to go on. Opposition to motion to compel. All right. And that there are so many attachments. We've already been through that in other content, so we're not going through it now. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. The New York Times. The surveillance apparatus that surrounded Britney Spears by Liz Day and Samantha Stark, published September 24th, 2021. And this is going on with the, I believe it was the Framing Britney Spears documentary. Photos of Britney Spears with black box security, on and on and on. So this is all the piece from the New York Times, which will actually be very interesting to read. Let's see. Undercover investigators were placed within the crowds to talk to fans, to ID them, to document who they were. Mr. Vaslov, this is the whistleblower, said it was all under the umbrella of the This Is for Britney's protection. He shared surveillance photos with the New York Times that correspond to photos posted by Free Britney participants that day outside of court. And that is the end. Black Box prepared a threat assessment report dated July 2020 that included background information on several fans within the movement, including people who had popular podcasts and social media accounts like Britney's Graham, Eat, Pray Britney, Lawyers for Britney, and Diet Prada. One activist, described as a young mother in Oklahoma, Megan Radford, was classified as a high risk due to her creation and sharing of information. An email from August 2020 sent by Mr. Yemeni, this is the head of Black Box Security, discussed the possibility of surveilling Kevin Wu, a fan who runs the prominent Twitter account Free Britney LA. They were extremely nervous because they had zero control over the Free Britney movement and what's going to come out of it, Mr. Vasilov said. The fees for surveilling Miss Spears' boyfriend and the Free Britney participants were billed to Britney Spears' estate. So those who were trying to blow a whistle on the conservatorship were surveilled and watched because there was no control over them. Look, when you're releasing things through PR, through official channels, you can kind of control the narrative because a lot of media outlets want to maintain their relationship with other people that might also be represented by the same PR. And there are intertwining interests. But when you come to people who are dedicated to Britney Spears, they give a fuck about your intertwining interest because they care about their community, not whether or not the, media outlet's not going to get an interview down the road with so-and-so who's also repped by so-and-so. They don't care. Yeah, Callista, they surveilled Britney's fans. They did. Sounds like other movements who hate it when they can't control the narrative, doesn't it? And so when you see accounts saying people are trying to control the narrative, we saw it happen in the Free Britney movement. And we had whistleblowers from the inside of the Free Britney movement saying, this is what we were doing. This is what was being paid for. And this New York Times report, Britney Spears conservatorship documentary, and the documentary talks all about that. Liz Day really did excellent work. But they charged, and I went through this ages ago. I'm going to have to pull up the document again. They charged Britney's estate for Lou Taylor to send, or the lawyers for Lou Taylor to send a cease and desist to somebody who was running Lou Taylor websites that were negative about Lou Taylor and talking about Free Britney stuff. They charged Britney for it. They charged Britney for all of this surveillance, for the fans who wanted the conservatorship to end. They paid for all of it. Britney paid for all of it. So when you see people saying this is what's going on behind the scenes and you're like, that seems odd. Just CEG Free Britney. And narratives have gotten much harder to control because media is decentralized. So the thing that controls what I talk about is me and us. I decide what stories I cover. I decide how I cover them. I tell you what we're covering, what we're not covering. I ask you what you're interested in. We decide for us, because at the end of the day, your support on YouTube, by watching, by being members on the channel or members over on lawnerds.unite.com, by super chats, by watching through, the ads on the videos that have ads on them, your support means I'm not beholden to anyone except for my audience, which means the person that I want to make sure I do not break trust with, other than me and my values and my morals and my ethical obligations, because lawyer, are you. No one else. I tell you how I cover things, why I cover things, and what we're breaking down and how we do it. And that's what we do. And some people are like, you're a lawyer with purple hair and you curse a lot. I'm out. Okay. Bye. I don't have to worry about someone up the chain being like, you're saying negative things about this person's lawsuit and they're repped by this other person, and that other person might not sit down for an interview with us, and they have a book coming out in about 4 months and we really want to have that interview. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and stop. I don't care. We don't have to do that here. And that's why we do this. Media has become decentralized. And decentralized media means you can find the voices that you trust. And look for people who tell you how they're doing things, what their perspective is. If you watch, because we're still talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard because NBC cannot let it go. If you watch a channel that's pro Johnny Depp, most of them say, I'm a pro Johnny Depp channel. That's going to get clipped. That's not what I'm saying. I'm a legal commentator that covers legal commentator shit. But if you're watching a channel that says that, they say that. They tell you what their perspective is. They tell you where they're coming from. So it's so crazy watching it come out from the inside and seeing someone who's surveilling Britney Spears' fans and the podcasts that are talking about it, saying that this is what we're doing, because it shines a light. This is not just happening in this case. And you hear, I mean, that umbrella guy, Tug, talks about it a lot, about the ops that have gone on for his channel and the attacks that he's been under on his channel. He is very clearly, he is a pro Johnny Depp channel. He goes through it all. But he tells you what has happened to him and his channel. It's the same playbook that the conservatorship's using. And the media is freaking out. And that's because narratives can't be controlled. You can't control the internet. It's the internet. Good luck. I am one person with one platform, with a great Law Nerd community and a microphone and a camera and one light, some cats. And I cannot be controlled. Except by my children when they ask me for shit. And that is where we're seeing so many of these things bumping up against each other. And it happened in Free Britney, and it happened in an even bigger way in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, which is why people are freaking out. Because the traditional ways that celebrities used to shut stuff down don't work anymore. Because you don't just have, 4 big corporations running it all. They don't. My YouTube channel on certain videos has much more reach than NBC's channel on their videos. They have more reach on traditional TV, but that's not who they're trying to reach anymore. Y'all are who they want to talk to, and they're pissed that we're not listening. Wah, 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 we don't want to hear it. You know why they want to talk to you? Because y'all are fucking smart. Y'all are like, I don't want to hear a narrative. Don't run a narrative at me. Tell me what it is and let me make up my own mind. And it freaks the media out that you want to do the most outrageous fucking thing you all want to do. Chat, rebels. You actually would like to decide for yourselves. Weird. What an act of rebellion. Let me decide for myself. Tell me what it is. Tell me what you think. And let me decide for myself what I think. Holy shit. Y'all want to think for yourselves. What's the media going to do with you now? They're going to lose your attention because you're tired of being told what to think. And you're tired of them trying to present it as news when it's actually narrative. If you want to give me a narrative, give me a narrative. I'll watch a commentary show. I love a commentary. Just tell me it's commentary. I might disagree with your opinion, but I might be interested in hearing it. And when it's news, give me the news. What happened and where? Let me decide if I care or not. So it's time to get to questions. I've got questions. You've got questions. We've got questions. We are so deplorable. We are deplorable randos over here asking to think for ourselves. Jillian, I know it makes us much harder to control. I would like to not be controlled. Thanks. Join the resistance. I know. The randos are out in full force. We are. And that's exactly what it is. Once you start decentralizing things and decentralizing thought, you can't control people. And that is what they're afraid of. And that's why the conservatorship was afraid of the Free Britney movement, because the Free Britney movement had Britney's back when she spoke. And they heard her. No one else did. And people called the Free Britney movement crazy conspiracy theorists for years. And they were right all along. So there we go. Rebel randos unite. Let's get into deplorable sounds like something political from 2016. We also had the big lie in this filing. It just happens sometimes. So let us get to questions. I've got questions. You've got questions. We have questions. Let's do questions. And then, we're almost at 3 hours. Me. It's only been 2 hours. We have plenty of time. Also me. Shit. Now it's been 3. Question, power of attorney needed to change names on it. How do I do it? Lisa Rhodes, that's a very deep legal question for either the court in your area or a lawyer in your area for sure. Was it Lou Taylor all along? Feels like it is. Will the July 27th court be broadcast? Jolly Roger's mom, now is a great time to remind everyone that after Britney spoke her truth in court, the entire county of Los Angeles shut down their remote access program. Shut it down. The entire thing. So no, there is no court broadcasting. You have to be there. Closet story, please. So the home edit came to do my closet. Hello, Isabella. You're very local to me. So is the home edit. The home edit came and did my closet. And I didn't really go through my closet and purge very much. I did some, but not a ton. And I had completely forgotten that when I went to a friend of mine, my friend April Franks hosts amazing entrepreneurship conferences. They feel like concerts because she's a fucking rock star. I went to her conference and spoke. And on her VIP day, one of the things she gave out were these very adorable bright pink vibrators. And I had one still in my closet in a box, like still wrapped in the box, because I had not had a chance to open it yet. You know, it doesn't need to compete with the other girls at home. But she's like, I don't know where to put this. And I'm like, I'll take that. She's like, I don't even know what it is. I'm like, don't worry about it. So the one that's still in the box, and I don't remember why I had left it in the box. I don't know if I have 2 of them. I don't remember why it's still in the box, but it was still in the box in the office. It should be in the office at this point. It was still in the box in the closet, and I forgot to put it into the bedroom. She was like, where do I put this? I was like, oh, it's probably not the worst thing that the home edit has found. I mean, things happen. I think they'd be disappointed if they didn't find something fun and spicy in my closet, but that I was like, oh, but I loved that I went to a conference because April's epic and she does like womanly shit. And so her conference is about womanly shit. And one of her things she talks about is pleasure in work and pleasure in life. And this is how the vibrators play into the VIP day, but not just do they play in, but she had them brought out on silver platters and like handed out to the audience. Like if you've never been to an entrepreneurship conference where they bring out a silver platter of hot pink vibrators and hand them out, have you really lived? I was like, this is amazing. Here they go. I just bumped my microphone, which then bumped my camera. It was hilarious. So they were handed out on a platter. That one ended up in the closet, and that's where we're at. But we've been sponsored by Adam and Eve. We're not, we're not shy to talk about all of the things. Look, it's so funny. No, you need to go to a conference. Is this conference still offered? I think April's next conference is actually in Mexico, but if you don't follow her here, let me pull up April. Let's plug April's Insta. And then you can find all of her other things from there. Let's go there. She's incredible. And I just love her. She is a no fuckery. She is a no fuckery woman, but she is such a needed voice. Where is my girl? So this is, I can link it. Oh, let me do that too. Wait, why won't it let me link it? I'll have to link it at some point. But this is April's Insta. She's incredible. Epic April, Aprille. And then you can find all of her stuff. But she is a feminine conscious business coach. She does work with men too, works with women, works a lot with Black women, but works with all women. All women. She's incredible. You need her in your life. Everyone needs a friend like April. April's such a badass. So there are lots of pictures in here from her conference. It was just great. This is the one in Atlanta that was so much fun, but this is April's Insta. She's the best. I bought this toothpaste because of her. I totally did. She influences my life very heavily. So, and then you can find all of her other shit, but Epic April is over on the Instagram. I think I can link it. I don't know how I do that. How do I? No, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to link it. Oh, I can do it this way. Duh. Emily, get your life together. Just copy it. Just copy it. So everyone needs a voice like April in their life. So that's the conference I went to. And that will help you find all of her shit that she has upcoming. So, and her TikTok and the things. So if you're also on TikTok, it's the same. Let's get to questions real quick. Hogue, don't you love Friday nights with Emily? Hogue's like I've stopped by 2 weeks in a row, and 2 weeks in a row we've ended up talking about the Nethers. It's not every week, Hogue. It just sometimes happens. Just sometimes happens. So let's see. You guys, QuickBits is at 98.9. Y'all are doing it. Y'all are doing it. Thank you. Thank you. Question, my sister and I both had our birthdays this last week. She introduced me to your channel. We're both watching tonight from Indiana, South Carolina. Can you wish her a happy birthday? Erin, I hope I pronounced Erin right. Erin's sister, happy birthday. And if you want to put in, and I will try to also see it, because there's over 13,000 of us here, and shout it out. Sent you a link on Twitter for Depp and Heard dip powder collection. It's pretty sassy. I'll go take a look. Thank you. You always tag me in the best nail stuff, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to get to some more questions, and we're going to see what happens over here on the channel. Hold on. Let me show you guys in the back end. Let me see, because we're rolling now. Look at that. We're rolling towards 99. Y'all are doing the things. I'm going to show you in the back end. Brian J was like, 100K, here we come. I mean, it's a goal. It's the goal. Let me pull this up real quick and see if I can show you guys we just clicked over to 99. I missed it. I'm sorry. I was going as fast as I can. But that's the QuickBits channel. I do have a second channel. This is the one I'm most active on. Legal ASMR, though, is going to get some more content. I've been meaning to do it. We need to do it as subscriber goals. We still haven't finished the Bill of Rights yet. So this will start turning over as y'all start subscribing. We're going to get to a few questions and just let that happen. This is why I'm not asking for likes on this video, because we're trying to get there. Question, where did the term rando come from? I missed something somewhere. During one of the early clips of the Dateline teaser interviews, Amber Heard called the witnesses towards the end of the trial, the rebuttal witnesses, Morgan Knight and Morgan Tremaine, randos. And she's sitting down for the interview, and she's like, and at the end of the trial, randos. So Amber Heard called the witnesses in the rebuttal case randos. And so that's how we then started talking about randos. And randos generally mean randoms, or like of less importance. Like, you're randos. It's just dismissive. It's like, who are you even anyway? But I really do feel, after watching that case, that to Amber Heard, all of us are randos. And by association, Kate Moss, yes, also a rando. So it was just like, randos. Like, who the fuck are these people? That's how it was said. I'm sure the clip is around the interwebs. Hold on. I bet I can find it. Hold on. Randos. I'm sure it's clipped on the internet. Let's see. Yep. Yes, it is. The internet does not disappoint.
The jury looked at the evidence you presented. They listened to your testimony, and they did not believe you. They thought you were lying.
I'll put it this way. How could they make a judgment?
I'm hoping this is in here.
Not come to that conclusion. They had sat in those seats and heard over 3 weeks of nonstop, relentless testimony from paid employees, and towards the end of the trial, randos, as I say.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them. It wasn't.
That's on NBC's official TikTok. Just so we're clear where this is coming from.
I don't blame them.
NBC has a whole ass documentary.
Actually understand he's a beloved.
Shut up. NBC has a whole thing about TikTok and the clipping down of the trial. This is on NBC News's official TikTok. This is what they shared on TikTok. This is their choice. We're just going to do one more time. How could they not? Here, we'll just watch this whole thing. We're just going to watch this whole thing. It's only a minute. This is from NBC.
The jury looked at the evidence you presented. They listened to your testimony and they did not believe
you have been weighed, judged, and found wanting. That's how it feels like.
you. They thought you were lying.
How could, I'll put it this way, how could they make a judgment? How could they not come to that conclusion? They had sat in those seats and heard over 3 weeks.
Amber Heard, though, does disprove the entire theory about the jury being influenced. She said they sat in those seats for 3 weeks and listened to all this evidence. Yes, that's what we keep saying. Yes, yes, they sat in those seats for 3 weeks.
Of nonstop, relentless testimony from paid employees, and towards the end of the trial, randos, as I say.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them. It wasn't, I don't blame them. I actually understand he's a beloved character.
Oh, not a human,
and
just a character.
People feel they know him. He's a fantastic actor.
Their job is to not be dazzled by that. Their job is to look at the facts and the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not believe your testimony or your evidence.
Thank you, NBC, for offering exactly what I was looking for this evening. That was so helpful. The jury didn't believe you over and over and over again. That's found wanting. So what's not being found wanting is the fact that Quick Bits, do I need to grab more wine? That Quick Bits is rolling towards 100K. Let's get to some more questions. I'll keep an eye on that. Oh man. Anyway, so that is where randos came from. I didn't used to look at TikTok every day. I would look at TikTok like maybe once a week, and I would throw the Quick Bits up on TikTok for those of you that are there. And I got pulled into Mama Tot's TikTok, and I cannot stop hoping that she gets justice for her son, and watching, not only watching what she's going through, but watching the kindness that is being shown to her and her showing gratitude back. It is such a horrible situation. But watching her share how much kindness she's receiving kind of just gives you faith in humanity. So yeah, we will all be randos. I've used rando as a gamer for people I don't know. Yeah, it's just rando. It is. All right, it's definitely Elise Myers for me. Elise Myers with Lance Bass literally gave me life. Like there are so many light parts of the internet when you choose to find them. And Elise Myers is one of those light spots on the internet where it just made me so happy. Her content just always makes me smile. I'm like, yes, I needed that. It's like a hug. All right, questions. We're getting to questions. We're going to get through some super chats and we're going to get to some questions. Emily from Brentwood, Tennessee. Again, you're awesome. Love you. But one question. What are your thoughts about Elaine? Like the first words that you think of, ugh. I tried. I'm trying to be nice. I don't think her trial skills were exemplary. And her arguments are unknown to the law. My learned friend has a lot to learn about being a trial attorney. And she reminds me of Umbridge, which is why I call her Umbridge. And I can't believe she actually has a fucking pink room. I couldn't believe it. Love you from the other Brentwood, California. Been to that one too, because I'm from the South Bay. Did you see Amber Heard fans comparing Amber Heard to BS situation? I have not seen that. The Free Britney movement isn't going to deal with that. They're going to be like, get out, yeet yourselves out of this questions. Do you expect any more filings from Britney before July 27th? Yes. They have to do additional briefing. The court has asked them for more briefing. So they're going to have to brief more about whether or not Britney Spears should be deposed. And those briefs are going to be spicy. Brian J. at Lakeland Title. Hello, good to see you. Our California conservatorship law is really lenient. They can be permissive in granting a temporary conservatorship, but then it depends on the judge. It seems like here in Louisiana, it's harder to get one. It should be harder to get them. So congratulations, EDB, on the People Legal Analyst gig. It was just one article. I don't work for any media outlets, trust me. If I took a job with a media outlet, I would disclose to all of you that. I give legal analysis and commentary to a variety of outlets that I like and reporters that I trust. I love being the go-to for pop culture because I feel like there's a way to cover pop culture with integrity, and I feel like there's a way to have those conversations, and that's what I like to do. Question: you should get in touch with Breaking Point's podcast. They mostly focus on issues affecting the working class and media fuckery, like we're seeing with the Depp versus Heard and Britney versus Yeeted. Crystal was a host on MSNBC and has seen it all. I will absolutely take a look at the podcast. I absolutely will. I had not heard of it. I will take a look at it. Thank you for the suggestion. I love your suggestions because y'all are so smart. 2 questions. Perfect. Alex McRae. Let's see. I need to get a second monitor. That's on my list for this month, next month, so that I can like read these better. I have to know what the name of your lip gloss, lipstick, and the blush. Love the color. Question 2. Do you think you will go to LA for the 27th? I need to talk to Dr. B, but now I fully intend to. The gloss that I love is pink frosting. And then the lip pencil, the lip liner that I love, that I wear a lot of the time by itself, is either Cher or Bel Air. Blush is Genetics this evening. Well, plus wine. So that's what that is. Can from Hempland, Texas, can the court go back through this mess and make them pay her back for this fuckery? Possibly. There is still a bond in place. Yeeted, I forget the exact amount Yeeted is bonded up to, but Yeeted is bonded. So yes, there is a possibility of that. It is shameful. Also, can the court force him to give her all the recordings? Yes. I doubt they still exist. And force an injunction to never release them. There would be a protective order for sure. Casey Weldon, thank you so much for the super chat. That's tremendously kind. Tara Dactyl, so how do I find a good organizer? I have spent $2,500 for 2 organizers this year. No real change, and ideas were mine. Complete waste. Can't be that worthless to hire an organizer. Please help. It depends on where you live. I would ask for recommendations. Word of mouth is so tremendously helpful. So depending on where you live, why did I pick the Home Edit? I've read their books. I know they're a local business, and I know people that have used them and have had great success, and I know what their process is. So you need someone who's going to tell you what their process is and then have them do it. What you don't need is just a second set of hands to help you put stuff away, because you can, I mean, if you do, that's less than an organizer. You need someone who's going to take over and make it work better. We have definitely gotten our closet working better because they came in and they're like, we're going to rework the flow. And we're like, yes, please do that. So I think that that's one of the best ways, is asking for recommendations. Live is inside again. Listening to you speak gives me hope. Listening to you speak gives me the same feeling of understanding. My brain finished that sentence. I'm sorry, that's not what you said. And relief as watching Bo's Inside for the first time did. It fills me with hope. That's why my brain filled it in. I'm trying. We are changing the conversation on the internet. We are learners. That is what we do. Don't blame the jury except juror 15. LOL. Emily, you're awesome. We all love you. Thank you, Minders. I love you guys too. Truly. I really do. And it might be naive. It might be a little bit optimistic, But I really do think that the way we interact changes the interactions on the internet. I love that. Trigger warning when we all have to listen to Amber's voice, please. I'm so done. I'm sorry, Pterodactyl. That's a very fair point. Jen, did you ever send Law Nerd swag to Ben and Camille? It's on my list. I have not yet. Things keep coming up. And then I get busy and then I'm like, damn it. I literally need 2 days to sit down and turn off my phone and the internet and just get work done. And I ended up being in New York unexpectedly. And that took up a lot of brain space. And then we had the closet organizers. I'm optimistic for next week. Oh, which means I'm going to have to look at flights. This 27th is coming up very fast. Like, oh, we binged. Emily, did you see the artwork of Ben and Camille on the Wrecking Ball on Twitter? I saw first super chat ever. Love you and the Law Nerds. I shared a lot of them and we went through some of the Ben Camille Wrecking Balls yesterday. I love them. Question, does Kylie Law allow his mates at the bar to be considered co-conspirators? If so, there's money there. So the co-conspirator stuff gets very interesting in the racketeering. We will see what Jay Edelson does with that. It really factually depends, but it's possible. Should we celebrate that bang? I feel like we don't celebrate nearly enough. Let's just celebrate. Celebrate the bing. Come.
Oh, it binged. Move your head. Ah!
Question from William. Could James Spears face criminal charges? Yes, that is a possibility. Yes, it's been alluded to in court filings by Matthew Rosengart, but it just depends. So we will see what happens. But yes, it is possible. All right. We're almost at 100K. You guys are killing it. Thank you to all of you here that are, oh, look, you just made it scroll again. Every time I put it up on the screen, you guys are like, oh, we remembered. So thank you. I know it's hard to do both the things, to have to like go there and then come back here. I totally get it. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Have you seen the meme of Britney responding, Amber Heard about Johnny having scissors for hands? I have not seen the meme of Britney responding to Amber Heard. I haven't, but I will. Fireworks went off outside right when you said celebrate. I love that. Celebrate. Question, where can I find your Amazon list and where to buy the lip gloss? The mods will help you out with both of those things. My Amazon list, it's in the description, but I believe it's amazon.com. I need to add that salt to it too, /shop/Emily D. Baker. So I can share that. But it looks like, let's see. It looks like this. So, and then I've streaming, lifestyle and home favorites, books that I love. So this is what it is. I love that they share earns commissions. I do. And that's the Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/Emily D. Baker. My mug is in there under this somewhere. This Stanley mug is kind of my go-to. It's a slightly different color because mine was a collab, but these are the things that I love and use all in the shop. So I need to go in and update some of these and add a few things. The gloss is Girardi Cosmetics. That is also listed in the links with my friend Jen Girard, who makes incredible beauty products. And there's a code with them, code LawNerd. Incredible. Let's see. Somebody said, incredible. You're at 663. I know. Can you believe it? We just show up on the internet and talk about stuff and people are here. So getting closer to 1 million. Well, we're getting closer to 666, but we'll have to go cover that hearing for sure. Free popcorn pop Viva. Well, thank you for the corn pop, free popcorn pop. Great. Emily, I found you way after Rittenhouse and towards the end of Johnny Depp. You're such a beautiful person. Thank you. Objective, spitting truth, and making me laugh. I try to be objective, and when I can't be, I'll tell you. That's the best. Did I send you a Britney Bling tee? Bling is the new black. I think so. I need to share them on social. I have like a little area with the stuff I've been needing to share, and your incredible shirts are one of them. So it is literally in my, I need to share these on social. Not an ambush, says yeeted Spears on his ambush conspiracy against his financially and emotionally abused and betrayed daughter. Mama T, that about sums that sums it up. Love seeing Mama Bear Baker come out. I was fired up this evening. The Spears fuckery, I can't. Crazy Cat Queen, By deposing Yeated, they are deposing Britney because they are one and the same for the conservatorship. Yeah. And isn't he the one who said, I'm Britney Spears now? It's a very good point. It's a very good point. Rosengart should put that in his motion too. Rosengart, we have suggestions. We have sass suggestions. Get sass notes trending on Twitter. We're not. Sass notes stack. Erica Jane is appearing at BravoCon. BravoCon, are you going? It's a plan. We got SVIP ticks. Debbie, I am planning on being at BravoCon. I am planning on being at BravoCon. So I will keep the Law Nerds posted on all the things. Gary Dordick does the same type of big high value cases. I think he also represented someone in that big gas leak case. It wouldn't surprise me that a lawyer from Girardi Keese would move to another catastrophic injury plaintiff's firm, but not Attorney Tom's firm. Attorney Tom is like, fuck off with that fuckery. I don't want any of it. Things I've learned from you: Yeeted, Listy Poo, and Nothing Burger. Well, thank you. We do say things. Yeeted doesn't come from me. I mean, the first time I started hearing Yeeted was from my teen, and then I said it, and then it made him cringe so hard I had to keep doing it. But really rose to popularity in the realm of Among Us, when people were yeeted and they'd be like, yeeted. I'm watching while gardening outside at 6 p.m. in Sacramento heat. So wearing my hands-free portable neck fan right now, essential Amazon, y'all. I keep seeing people with those. I might need one of those. Will Amber Heard therapy notes from Dateline interview with Savannah be released now? She showed them on national television. Can Johnny's team request them? I'm sure Johnny's team has them. I just don't think that they were reliable. You have to either call the therapist, or you can't say what's in the notes. You can call the witness to talk about what they witnessed. The best person to talk about what's in the therapy notes is the person who said the things in therapy, Amber Heard. She is the first person with first person knowledge. Therapy notes can't be cross-examined. They have a different purpose. The witness can be. So her therapy notes came in essentially through her testimony. She can't say what she told someone, but she can just tell you what happened. Kevin says, I'm an hour late watching from the beginning. Siri, no, I'm not talking to you. Kevin, sorry, Siri's interrupting. You're interrupting Kevin, Siri. It's so rude. I'm about an hour late, but watching from the beginning. This is my first live chat outside of the JD Amber Heard court mess. I hope you're having fun, Kevin. I'm sorry we got to your super chat so late. This is honestly fuckery to the highest degree. I really struggle to believe that Edith thinks it's okay to depose his daughter. I can't believe he thinks it's okay either. It's appalling. Why would he need to know anything? As Britney said, he sat me down and said, I am now Britney Spears. Exactly. Listening from Dixie Rose. Listening from League City, Texas. Thank you for dumbing down so even I can understand. Look, that's what this channel is for. We are trying to make things understandable. Are we listening to Iron Maiden when we hit 666 in our brains? Because I don't want to get yeeted by YouTube. That being because you sang a bit of Celebration, I think so. Question. Thank you for what you do and the person you are. You're welcome. What's your skincare routine? Your skin is beautiful. Well, some of that's genetics. And some of that is having a fantastic facialist here in Tennessee who very much helped me figure out things for my skin. Can I share my whole skincare routine? No, I don't know what anything's called. I just use it. There's a clay cleanser. I don't use a ton of stuff. I use an under eye cream and a face cream. Sometimes I change them out but I don't use a ton of stuff on my face. I use face rollers and gua shas, but some of that is also genetics. My mom also has very nice and clear skin. I might be short, but my skin will look nice. So some of that is that, but I use very light ingredient products. Nothing was sent, and I can share some of those. I'll have to go through that. After this trial, I started trying the Clé de Peau under eye cream. It's all very scented. I don't love scented face products. Lynn Spears' legal fees are in court on July 22nd. They moved to the 27th, but yes. Trigger warnings when we have to, I got that pterodactyl. It needed to be said twice. The Lady Black Belt. So I've started using your live streams as a passive accountability partner for my paper writing. I appreciate you. Thanks for being awesome. You're welcome. Hopefully you're sitting down writing papers. It's Me Tiff said, would love to see you read Salty Emotions to the boys. I mean, I need to explain them to Brian. The little ones might, maybe not. Charles said, this is Ann, not Charlie. Lou Taylor is all over this. Insidious. She needs a much closer look by Britney's current law team. Oh, they be looking. They are looking. They are looking. That Sarah says, as an AUDHD, I live for the op to write these emails. I'll fuck around and find out because I can just take off my mask and write the fucking facts equals fire. They always stressed me out. I didn't like it. I liked working with people to resolution. I really did. I liked working cooperatively. I didn't like being like, you're supposed to do. Made me mad. I hated it. Cody, love you, Madam Emily. Thank you, Cody. Where are your Elwood Funkos? Thought you were going to put them on display. They are on display, Stephanie. Also, this is my first live. Yay. Yay. One of them is right there with the glasses. One of them is over my shoulder, right down there on top of a hollow taco box. And because my background's blurry, it makes it hard. And one of them is right up here by the counter. So they are on display. Occasionally I move things around in the background. And when you look at an old video and then look at this one, you'll notice like a few of you notice like the switch is missing. But yes, they are on display. They're like doop, doop, doop. So from this box, I can't do this well because it's like in reverse. But from this box down, they're in those three. So yes, they are there. When does the statute of limitation end? How much time left does she have to file against them? Britney versus Yeated. Britney has a lot of time because it's from discoverability and she was in a conservatorship. So she has some time. And it depends on the law. It depends on the law that's violated as well. Sometimes the statute of limitations a year, sometimes 3, sometimes it's from discovery plus, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's depending on age. It just depends on the thing. Jessica said, and then to find even more insanity, I guess at least this doesn't affect me personally, but to see that someone, especially someone that's supposed to be a parent, is capable of this insanity. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Question, could the email from TriStar lawyer with the courtroom shopping psychotropic drugs be considered unethical? Could they face punishment? The funny thing about lawyering is if you can seek an advantage from your client or for your client, it's zealous advocacy. So if your client is saying, this is what we need to help, then your job as a zealous advocate is to make sure they get that. And if that means getting the judge that's most favorable to your client's position, that's not unethical. That's smart lawyering. Does that feel gross to all of you? Probably. But if you're filing a civil lawsuit and you're picking where you file it, Johnny Depp's team had a huge advantage filing in Virginia versus filing in California. It's not a ton different. It feels gross. They were planning it, but it's the same. This is the client we represent. We're representing James Spears in this, not Britney. So no, they couldn't face punishment. How can Britney be deposed if she was the victim? Well, she was the conservatee. She was the one being recorded. She was in the conservatorship. So I don't know either. Flying Monk Laura says, my heart breaks for Britney having to read these emails. She's treated as a non-human. I think she was treated that way for a very long time. I think she was treated as a product. And it's interesting because we heard Johnny Depp talk about that in his testimony too. We heard him talk about the product of Johnny Depp, not the person, the brand of Johnny Depp. And I think that's what we see with Britney too. Sis Vicious, I love that name. Question, how dare you play the rando clip and cut it before Scissor Fingers? Who are we and what have we become? NBC did that. Keep blaming them for shit. That's on their official TikTok. Maybe they have another one with that clip. I'm just glad they left the Scissor Finger clip in. They could have cut it out. So I'm glad. Thank you for the super sticker, Charmin Kitchens. Appreciate it. Oh, there's so much fuckery with TriStar. I see you guys talking about it. I'm eating cereal and listening to you. I love cereal. That sounds delicious. You're the one who got me through the Johnny Depp trial. I even had you on my 60-inch TV at work. Hopefully I still looked okay. That's when you can see how tired I am. You put me on the TV, you're definitely going to see the under eyes more. But thank you. Cereal sounds delicious. Question, were you able to get tacos? Vara. This is a very important question. Yes, today my kiddos and I went and got tacos together. It was delightful. It was delightful. We went and got tacos. Here was my disappointment. We talked about this yesterday. Here's my disappointment. When we were traveling, we went to Taco Bell. I don't go to Taco Bell often because Taco Bell puts something that is addictive in their food and then I want Taco Bell again. So I try not to eat at Taco Bell because eventually it subsides and then I'm not like, ooh, I should go to Taco Bell. Because, you know, generally I try to avoid fast foods. But when we were traveling, we went to Taco Bell because the entire family can agree on something at Taco Bell. And I love their freezes. I miss the summer that they released the watermelon ones that even had little bits of like watermelon seed candy. They were so freaking good. I loved them. And that's what got me back into Taco Bell. Like in high school, we were very big fans of Taco Bell because the food was inexpensive and you could eat a lot of it after water polo practice. Loved going to Taco Bell after water polo practice with the team. My friend lived down the street. Happy memories for Emily with Taco Bell. Lots of them. So then there was the summer where they had the watermelon freezies with the little watermelon candies in them. Holy mother of God, they were divine and I loved them. And they even gave you like a big like boba straw for them. They were so good. So good. So in the summertime, we tend to enjoy a freeze from Taco Bell. And if you are in Nashville or Vegas, they will put booze in your freezes. I might have dragged Zach and Up and Adam to go do that with me. It was so much fun. They put booze in your freezes. I need the watermelon freezes back so I can put booze in those. They were so good. So on Broadway and 2nd, you can go to the Taco Bell and get booze spiked in your freezes. Anyway, so we were traveling. We had Taco Bell. The whole family agreed. Mostly because of the freezes. And they had the chalupas with like the crust cheese on the outside. Holy shit. Holy shit. They were so good. They were so good. So I wanted to go get tacos because I wanted to go get the chalupas. And I wanted to get the one with the crusty cheese on the outside. They were limited time and they're gone now. They were really good. But you know what? They probably wouldn't be as good the second time because the first time it's like, ooh, this is really good. I was also like starving. They were so good. They're gone. In my area, I see some of you talking about the cheese chalupa. The crusty cheesy like chalupa ones are gone. They're gone. They're like, oh, they were limited time and we're out. I'm like, God. So this is why I don't talk about Taco Bell. So here's how this all started. I am so highly suggestible. I am very, very highly suggestible. And yesterday there was discussion on the interwebs of Nikado Avocado and why he's not posting on YouTube and where he is gone and what is going on. Because I love YouTube and I do follow YouTube personalities. And I also am now curious because he posts all the time. But in my mind, he is associated with Taco Bell. So as I was looking at like a couple of the different videos, like Def Noodles and some other ones are talking about where Nikado Avocado is. I think T-Spill or Spill Sesh, somebody talking about where Nikado Avocado is gone. In my brain, I'm like, oh, Taco Bell. And this is why I don't watch mukbang content, because then I'll be like, oh, I need that. I can't. So that's how I ended up really wanting Taco Bell yesterday. I talked about this on yesterday's live stream. I went to go get Taco Bell yesterday. And the Taco Bell I went to, and I live far from everything. So I went to go to the Taco Bell yesterday, and the Taco Bell I normally go to, for those of you local near Royal Oaks, is closed for construction. And I didn't have time in the time I had to go to a different one because they're all far apart because I live far from everything. So it spilled over to today. And today the kids are like, okay, we're going to Taco Bell. So Lynn Bell asked question, what is a Nikado Avocado? Is it a special brand? No, it's a YouTuber. Nikado Avocado is a YouTuber. Nikado is a YouTuber that does mukbang content that posts prolifically on the interwebs and has disappeared. So highly suggestible is totally an ADHD thing, probably. Do you have fuzzies or torchies? I have no idea what that means. Is this related to wait, is this something that goes in my closet? Is that what fuzzies and torchies are? because I feel like it's either drugs or sex toys. What are fuzzies and torchies? I feel like it's one of the two. So, are Amber Heard's therapist notes unsealed by Judge Penny now? No, they're not. So, can you go over the response from Chris and Roberta Laundrie's lawyers in the civil case happening? Yes, I can. The motion got denied. I haven't seen if there's anything since then. You guys are like fuzzies and torchies. Is Mexico, Texas? No, I have not. And we do not. Tacos in Texas. Perfect. No, we do not. Nope. But we do have, is it Chewy's here that I think is also a Texas brand, but it's like Tex-Mex. I'm used to Southern California Mexican food, which is not Tex-Mex. It's Mexican food. So the Texas brands seem to be more Tex-Mex, which is just a little bit different. All right. I was going to answer some things. You guys are like, they're taco restaurants. Well, I don't know. Somebody's like, my brain equated it to plushies and lighters. Right. Exactly. Snoo Maven. Yes. You guys are like, torchies are good. Now you're all making me hungry. Off topic, but have you seen Just the Tipsy rosé wine? I have not. That sounds amazing. I need it. Imagine how many snippy one-liners and sassy footnotes there'd be if Ben Chu and Matthew Rosengart were repping the same client. The snark would be amazing. It would be. Or if they were just snarky guys on opposite sides, if they were opposing counsel, that could also be very interesting. They'd probably just get along and everything would get resolved and we'd never see it anyway. I'm glad I made it and hear this and be part of this tonight. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm glad you're here too. Holly Jane, question. Do you think Yeatid's upcoming deposition will ever be released or leaked to the public? Probably not. I want to make popcorn for all the law nerds to watch. It would be better for Britney if it's not. Truly. And if there's ever further investigation, you want to keep those things under wraps in case there is further investigation. Our own curiosity aside, it would be better if it's not. Question, new EDB fan here. Thank you, Melanie. Have you seen Britney perform live? I love your advocacy for her and your logical arguments thereof. I've never seen Britney perform live. I have very much wanted to. I was supposed to go see her perform live in Vegas, and plans had to change. Question, what do we know from the forensic accounting of Britney's estates? I've gone through those motions with the investigator, and I haven't seen anything new from that. There was a lot of fuckery uncovered in the initial stuff. Odd question, what's your favorite Starbucks order? Fellow Middle Tennessean here. Well, it depends on the time of year. If pumpkin cream cold brew is an option, pumpkin cream cold brew is always the answer. If pumpkin cream cold brew is not the option, then Irish cream cold brew. If Irish cream cold brew is not an option, then salted caramel cold brew. And if none of those are an option, then the sweet cream nitro cold brew. I do love the nitro. Emily, they were involved with Britney before the sea ship. Those emails back it up. Yep, multiple emails. Please look. We did, Amanda. That's why I wanted to pull it up. See, earlier in the show to later in the show. We were just going through the arguments. I wasn't saying I agreed with the argument. Just tuning at the end. Damn, I miss your show from the beginning because you're amazing. Well, replay crew. Question, can you explain what happened in the house this morning and what a motion to recommit is? I have Drew. I have no idea. I am assuming that you're talking about the House of Representatives. I have literally no idea. I've been prepping the show and following what the frick is going on with Alec Murdaugh, because that's next week's podcast. I have not been following along with what's going on in the House. So crazy. I thought the Tati without a crystal ball case was the craziest thing. And 2022 cases have been like, wait, hold my beer. Yep. And yep. Emily D. Baker, did you see that Tasha K lost her appeal? Renee B., I did not, but I will look at it. We'll talk about it Tuesday. I haven't even seen her full appeal filing. I'm not surprised. But question, in Nashville, Taco Bell's, seriously? Yes. The one on Second has booze and live music. The last time we were there, it was a little guy with a guitar just singing Garth Brooks. My happy ass was so happy to sing Garth Brooks in a Taco Bell with an icy, with booze in it, with very fancy influencers. And I was willing to accept that Up and Adam and Zach might never speak to me again. because they were like, what are we doing next? And I'm like, oh, just wait. I was so excited. And I'm sure they were like, you've brought us to a Taco Bell. Yes, I have. To a Taco Bell where they're singing Garth Brooks on Broadway and putting booze in your Slurpees. Everyone was a very good sport. Everyone was a very good sport. Yes, they're awesome. Yes, they are. It's a moment. It's a moment. It's a moment. And, you know, yes, we can go to like the food hall and all of that stuff, but a Taco Bell with guitar, it's so camp. It's just fun. So we had fun. And then we went and sang karaoke. Now I want to move to Nashville, even without the beaches. The beaches are within driving distance and we have lakes and beautiful waterfalls. Wait, Taco Bell in Japan always allows you to get the booze, but there's only lemon and margarita flavors. Well, I could deal with only lemon flavors. Japan also has all of the cutest Starbucks stuff. Always, always, always. I lived in Nashville for 6 years and had zero clue about this. The things I find amusing. Look, I'm simple. I am very, very easily amused. I like to have fun. I enjoy things that are silly. I do not take myself seriously. And I just enjoy having a good time. I love going to sing karaoke. There is a karaoke bar here that I love. I like going to sing karaoke. I like being ridiculous. Yeah. So I like being ridiculous. Why is Lou Taylor's sign off Quorum Dio seems suspicious? I don't know why Lou Taylor has signed the emails Quorum Dio. I don't know. Question, can the conservatorship attorney Lou be charged with anything? Seems sketch. Lou is not the attorney. Lou was the business manager. The attorneys don't seem to have done anything wrong. What's going on with Lou? We need to know. Yeet is what happens when you wear metal jewelry to an MRI. My real name is Karen. That's a very fair point. I saw a statistic the other day, I don't know if it's true, that in Canada, there have been no children named Karen since like early 2020 or something. I need to find it and put it back on Instagram. I was like, huh, interesting. I wonder what the naming statistics are on that right now. I imagine there's going to be a gap in children named Karen. Jordan B says, I feel like you need to know this. The Jelly Belly factory in San Francisco sells super cheap giant bags of misprinted or misshapen Jelly Bellies called belly flops. Totally worth going on tour for. That's so fun. We were going to ask more about jelly beans tonight, but I don't think we're going to have time. Thank you for answering my questions. I tried to send good ones tonight. You've always sent good ones, Hempland. I am catching up on this whole thing and I'm just baffled it was allowed to go on so long. Everyone. You will have to go to Garth's new bar on Broadway. Matt Bond, I think so. The last time Garth toured here in Nashville, I really wanted to go, and then it ended up getting weathered out, so I still might have a chance to go. I don't know when it was done. Jennifer said it's a Taco Bell cantina. It's a special concept where there's alcohol. The one in Vegas is great, too. I'm not going to lie. Emily, do you like traveling and going to Taco Bells? Gosh, I'm basic. Karen said, I'm sure it's not fun to be named Karen anymore. I'm sure it's difficult. It's so unfair. To all the delightful Karens, it's so unfair. We hate Karen as an Albert. We love nice people. We love nice people. It's hard. Belly flops are real. I would love that. Do you listen to the Small Town Murder podcast? I have not. I need to catch up on the Murdaugh Murders podcast. For sure. And somebody said, now no babies will be named. Now no babies will be named Amber or Elaine. I think Amber might take a dip. I think Amber might take a dip. I do. Poor Karens. All the Karens in the chat are like, can relate. They have a Taco Bell cantina in California too with booze. Look at this. Taco Bell tour. I mean, we could absolutely do that. EDB, you gave me the courage to chase my dream career and be a mom at the same time. Got a job offer this week, celebrating with a drink in the live chat. Krista, cheers to you, law-nerd friend. Wait, oh my God, we're almost at 4 hours. We're going to have to wrap up and go. Y'all are too entertaining tonight. Grace said, it's a Murdaugh in Savannah. Oh, wait, here's the stat. Last Karen in Toronto only was November 2019. We're going to have to look at wider stats. There's got to be some. There's got to be wider stats. Me Googling Taco Bell Cantina near me. Oh my God, you would love Small Town Murder. I'll take a look. You are my people, Emily. Well, I am your people and y'all are my people. We love the chat. All right, I'm going to do 2 more super chats and then I've got to go because now I'm like, I said it was 3 hours and we had a minute and now it's been almost 4 and I've definitely got to go. I'm exhausted. Somebody asked, does my head still hurt? Yes. Did I think that would hasten me in ending the stream tonight? Yes. Why does Judith and Britney being disposed would help his case? I think he's threatening her. I really do. I really think it's an intimidation tactic. Like, if I threaten to depose you, maybe you'll back down and stop trying to depose me. I think it's control. That's my personal opinion. I know it's all manipulation, but in a fantasy land, if it was granted, what does he think would help? He wants to ask her about the things he said in court. And I think he would try to use it against her. Can Yeated Spears plead the fifth during his deposition? Yes, but it has to go question by question. Deluxe Coffee Brewmaker, you're welcome. I will take a look. 8 minutes behind. His name is Rosendaddy. I mean, the chat definitely calls Rosengart Rosendaddy. My wife's boyfriend loves this channel. Thank you. Well, Wed Moon, I hope that all works out for you. No judgment here. Maybe Britney could collaborate with Johnny on a song together. That would be entertaining. A cover of Control, perhaps. Have you ever been to... No, I have not. It's authentic Mexican and phenomenal. I have not, but that sounds amazing. We love Mexican food. Law Nerds, don't forget to like the stream. That's a good reminder. The factory is in Vacaville. I know exactly where Vacaville is, y'all. Not San Fran. There's a couple. There's a couple factory tours, though. That's Sarah. There are a few. Love Edley's Barbecue in Nashville. Nashville does have good food. Hello, everyone from Singapore. Hello, Johan Mohan. Krista, again, congratulations. If you ever come to Boston, you need to go to Jordan's Furniture. They have a Jelly Belly store where you can make your own custom bags, and they also have life-size jelly bean statues. I have not been to Boston in way too long. Best Yeet description ever. I will take a look at that on Netflix. Yeeta needs to get over it. Agree. He loved his cash cow, not his daughter, says LJ May. Loving joining Friday Night Live while unpacking and settling into my hotel in New York for my son's wedding next weekend after 2 days of flying from Hawaii. Kim, congratulations. Congratulations to your son. And I hope the weather stays nice in New York for you. Emily, I need you as my life coach. I'm Britney, bitch. All right, Angela. Well, just keep tuning in. It will happen. The journalist did not place the term surveillance within the quote of Weingarten. Could be the writer. Maybe. I will have to look. Maybe. If Ezra Miller is indicted, can they be charged with conspiracy? I don't know enough to answer that question yet, but I have been keeping an eye on what's going on with the Ezra Miller protective orders situation. It's an odd, concerning situation. Crone said, this is to help with the extra baggage fees for your trip to LA because I carry all my baggage with you. No, it's good. Thankfully, Delta is pretty kind to me when I travel. Love to see wide ranging amount of ages here. I've seen any ages from 20 to 70. I think I've seen up into the 80s. I know we have a few 80-year-old law nerds that are our friends. 40 in 15 days with a toddler body is just nope. Yep. Our bodies do that. But look, you have a great kiddo. Are you going to cover Ricky Martin's case? Don't know enough. Just seen reports. Haven't seen anything. We'll consider when we have more. Court documents from Puerto Rico are going to be hard to get. Did Lyra just use somebody hacked my Twitter defense? Yeah, sure. Your signature was forged. How convenient. I mean, it was kind of like that. Nicole Nightsland said, Emily, COVID is killing me. I feel like I'm stalking my next door neighbors because I only have one window to look out of. You bring me joy. I'm sorry. I know I've heard from so many of you in the chat that this round has been really, really rough for you. It is still out there. So just be mindful because I've seen a lot of people going down with COVID. It's been rough. So question, do we have confirmation that Girardi really has Alzheimer's? That's what the doctor's reports in the conservatorship say. So I don't know how you get a doctor to diagnose it, but that seemed to be done by questioning only and not through anything else. But that's what the conservatorship says. I'm not here to investigate or report that. The timing was sus. That's where we're at. You guys, the Quick Bits channel is almost at 100K. Thank you for every single one of you who is here to watch the facts, not the fuckery. And sometimes the legal filings are the fuckery, and we just cover those too. Thank you for being here and being law nerds. Thank you for rolling with me for almost 4 hours. A huge thank you to our moderators who are like, oh, this is just what we do now. We just stream forever. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. We just kind of end up down the rabbit holes we end up down, and I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you that went and followed my amazing friend April on Instagram. I absolutely see it. So thank you to all of you that went over there and checked her out as well. Thank you all for being amazing, and I will talk to you in the next one. It is time to just wrap and go get some food. Probably not tacos tonight, but damn, now that we've been talking about tacos, I want tacos again. Always. Emily, is that always an option? Yeah, always an option. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will be back live on Tuesday. I will see you around the interwebs on Mondays. I will probably not be on the interwebs very much this weekend because I have a lot of catching up to do. So I will talk to you later. Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. If you guys want to join the text, just text Emily.com. If you want to join the channel, lawnerdsunite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube.